Welcome in to North Stanly High School at R.N. Jeffrey Stadium, home of the Comets, where tonight the visiting Mount Pleasant Tigers come in here trying to win the 1A, 2A Yadkin Valley Conference. Mark Plemmons, James Melick are here with you, Mark. 2 weeks left in the regular season, then there's that one makeup week, and this is by far one of the biggest games we've called all year.
Oh, absolutely. We've called a lot of games that were just kind of mediocre games, but this game, a lot on the line. A Mount Pleasant win gives the Tigers the conference championship, a win by North Stanly, and a win next week against Albemarle for North Stanly, and they would take the Yadkin Valley title. A year ago, we had this game down at Michael Johns Stadium. Coach Larry Honeycutt Field, and we saw a North Stanly team drag Mount Pleasant up and down the field. Teams are a little different. The head coach for North Stanly, Coach Chad Little, in his second season, and he's certainly making improvements on this Comets team. Daniel Crosby, another year in Tigertown, and he is certainly making his mark, particularly on the offensive side of the football. We've always seen the Tigers run the football, but they're getting that motion. They're getting a lot of people involved, and it's a hard offense to stop.
Yeah, I agree with you. And you said right there that we covered this game last year, and last year when we covered this game and we saw North Stanly drag Mount Pleasant up and down the field, we thought it was a no-brainer. North Stanly was about to win the 1A, 2A Yadkin Valley Conference. Well, Albemarle had different plans for that.
21-14 regular season finale, and Albemarle sneaks in, and really, I asked some folks around here, well, what happened? And they said, well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things, high school football, from week to week, you don't always know what you're going to get. You don't know whose girlfriend broke up with who, and,
Got that right.
or who had a bad day at school, and just all kinds of things factoring in. And Coach told me one time, he said, making your livelihood on the backs of 17 and 18-year-olds and their mental struggle sometimes is a hard job.
Yeah, it is, like you just said. That's why you got to play the games. That's why they play them every Friday night, play them Saturdays in college, and play them every Sunday, because anything can happen once you get out there in between the numbers and watch and see. And last year, Albemarle sneaks into the playoffs, and it was a big win for them. And North Stanly this year, definitely ready to come out and try to get that title after a disappointing loss last year. But Mount Pleasant, like you said, different team this year under head coach Daniel Crosby. Last year, very, very run-heavy team with Jacob Regal and all of them. This year, you're seeing a lot more passing of the football. You're seeing Colin Black start to release that ball a lot more, and you're seeing Ethan Dempsey show his athleticism a lot.
Absolutely. Well, already coming in on our Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard, got a couple of scores already to tell you about. Into the first quarter, Central Cabarrus 8, Jesse Carson nothing, and Vikings there looking for win number 2 on the season. Jesse Carson team that we're told had, I think, 8 or 9 players dismissed from the team after a little altercation among themselves, and they are playing shorthanded the rest of the season. We've got a score coming in, and this was, I believe, off of the first drive of the football game. Northwest Cabarrus 7, J.M. Robinson nothing. You can listen to that game on our Radio Free Cabarrus Facebook page. John Von Can and Chris Hudson there. And that game also on the NFHS Network for video. Also, this game is on the NFHS Network as well for video. And if you're a subscriber to that, you can switch on over there. But we appreciate you tuning in here if you are not. This game, it's a big game. The Robinson Northwest is for the South Piedmont Conference Championship, because next week Robinson will be playing a non-conference game against these same Mount Pleasant Tigers.
Yes, they will. In a battle of 49, like you just said there, Mount Pleasant versus Robinson, last conference game for those teams, and that is a huge one down there as we have a crew down there, John Von Cannon and Chris Hudson, bringing that one to you guys, as you heard Mark say, on our YouTube page and the NFHS Network. So a really good game. And last year, I think it was me and Perry. I think we got the honor to call that game last year, Perry and I, between those two. It was a really good game between those two. Then,
well, you and I recall going down on the sideline talking with Coach Jason Seidel about that one, and that was one that really stung the Trojans. They got down on the goal line with but possibly, I believe it was a tying score.
Yep.
And somehow the ball came out at the 2 or 3 yard line, and J.M. Robinson came away. They go down, score, and take that victory. The other thing I remember about that game is Alex Walker throwing a deep post pass to about the 40-yard line of Robinson. Nobody within 5 yards, and the receiver dropped the ball.
Yep, I remember that one very clearly as well. And as you said there, Alex Walker no longer the quarterback for the Northwest Trojans anymore. New quarterback had Helms for them. And then 2 weeks later, we got to watch it yet again, Mark, after they did it. We got to see him that time in a conference match, or in a playoff matchup, and it was all Robinson in that one. They walked the dog, completely put it on them when they played at Robinson.
And I think Northwest had a couple of injuries in that game, too, or prior to that may have contributed to that. Got the captains getting ready to go out to midfield, and the Comets are getting ready to walk through the stands coming onto the field. I don't know if they got a specific name for it. Maybe the Comet Walk, or they're going to flash through the crowd, or
they could do that.
They're getting ready to go.
They got them lined up here right in front of us, Mark. It's going to be fun because we always love the tradition at Robinson. It's going to be fun to see what North Stanly does here.
Jalen McCoy is one of the captains for the Comets. Also out there, Aiden Alsbrook. We got big number 70, Sashawn Swindale, and the other captain is number 14. That's Noah Carter, the kicker. Tigers are in gold numbers, white jerseys, and
we're going to have our hands
right now,
full.
if I'm looking across the field where they're standing on the sideline, I might as well not have a number on there because you can't read it at all.
No, you can't read it. You might as well just close your eyes and throw one of the numbers out off your sheet.
They're shiny.
They are shiny.
They're shiny and pretty, but they are not functional.
They are not good.
Almost as bad as the round numbers on the Central Cabarrus uniforms we had last week with those tiny little holes in between where there's supposed to be space.
Yep, that was very tough to read as well, and we're going to have our hands full reading those tonight. Comets in the light blue jerseys, red shoulder lines, white numbers, blue helmets, and white bottoms as well.
Pretty traditional-looking uniforms for North Stanly.
That old Tar Heel blue-looking color, yeah.
There's a little, not quite Tar Heel blue. It's just a slightly darker. It's got the little arm bands, kind of like Ole Miss. Got a N on the helmet.
And as I look down here, Mark, you see the parents for some of them trying to hype these kids up because the parents know this game is huge. You win this game, and then you go beat Albemarle next week. You're hosting a playoff game here at home, and hosting another game.
Otherwise, you're not likely to have another game here at North Stanly.
Yeah, because they're on the road next week against Albemarle, so
And that's not far down the road, just straight down 52.
And
looks like Ethan Dempsey is one of the captains.
I couldn't catch the other ones. Maybe there was a.
Yeah, we'll check and see.
It's going to be tough to catch those numbers.
We may have to listen to the PA tonight to try to figure out who's who. We know who was supposed to be in most of the spots, but they run a lot of players in and out.
And it looks like we have a functional play clock as the Comets enter the field through the fans here, coming in through the bleachers to walk out.
Got a meteor shower coming in with the Comets here.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We're about 3 minutes and 45 seconds away from kickoff here. The Comets enter. You have the Hells Bells sound going on.
Is that what
here.
That is?
AC/DC, a little Hells Bells. That's what it sounds like as they jog out there to their end of the field, which would be to our right, near side right, and then far side you have the Mount Pleasant Tigers as both teams await the entrance to the field, and we wait and see what happens out there with the coin toss, why they do that, and they're actually about to tell us, so I'll wait and see what happens here.
Looks like
Mountain has decided to receive, and they will receive working right to left here. While we do that?
Yeah, they're defending the goal to our right. Another Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard update. Didn't take long. J.M. Robinson on the board now. 7-7 over at Trojan Stadium between Northwest Cabarrus and J.M. Robinson.
Did not take long for the Bulldogs to answer back against the Trojans. While we have a second, the teams are getting set to come out. We want to remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by BenMinot.com, the proud sponsor of our halftime show. Your hometown drugstore, Cannon Pharmacy, the proud sponsor of our scoreboard. Wilkinson Funeral Home, proud sponsor of high school athletics and 485 Sports. Your Carolina Pizza Hut, proud sponsor of the Red Zone. The Cabarrus County newspaper, the Independent Tribune, Mark's day job. That's where he gets his money from. the Carolina Renaissance Festival, and my fiance's favorite, the Southern Christmas Show, all proud sponsors of 485. As the Mount Pleasant Tigers trot over to their sideline to get set for this 1A, 2A Yadkin Valley matchup. And this one here, like we talked about, Mark, and here come the Comets. This one most likely to decide the champion of the conference.
I'm not trying to figure out what the student themes are. Across the way, it looks like Mount Pleasant's doing road construction. They've got neon orange and neon yellow.
I agree. It does. It definitely looks like road construction is.
But I'm not really sure what the Comets have in their student section today. We may figure that out before the night's over. They're down to our right. Of course, want to thank Athletic Director George Walker. Of course, many of our folks around Cabarrus County know George Walker. George, the former basketball coach at Mount Pleasant. He was the basketball coach at Concord High, and one of our favorite people. We got a score coming in, I think, now from Hickory Ridge Cox Mill. We'll see what that score is. Looks like Cox Mills jumped out on the Raging Bulls 14-0 at the end of the first quarter.
Both of those teams trying to get their first win of the year, Mark. Both teams 8-0. The teams here that we're standing here watching tonight, Mount Pleasant 7-1, North Stanly 5-3. The only loss for
Tigers lost to
is to, I don't remember who they lose. Who did they lose to?
They lost that heartbreaker like 16-14 to Northwest Cabarrus.
That's right, they did, and they're on a 4-game winning streak, while the Comets entered this one on a 1-game winning streak, with their last win being against South Stanley. Ball is teed up, kicking it left to right, back deep to receive. Looks like Dempsey, and I can't catch the other person is back deep.
Yeah, we'll check that as we get a short kick.
Short kick fielded around the 26 or 24 and fair caught. And that's where the offense, led out there by their junior quarterback of Colin Black, steps out onto the field.
I think that's Jackson Burris who made the fair catch.
The 24-yard line, working right to left, ball spotted left hash, near side to us to start this drive. Cheerleaders in full force here for the Comets, along with the Mount Pleasant Tigers on the far side of the field.
Well, we got just about a full house here. There's not many empty seats if there are any.
On both sides of the field, for the Tigers and for the Comets. As we're lined up here for the first down play, they'll put one receiver left. They hand this ball off to the back, who goes up the middle before being brought down at the 25 for a pickup of 1.
Yeah, not a lot there, as they just kind of crisscross those backs in the backfield after they went shotgun with split backs and a tight end wing.
Aiden Smith, the ball carrier there, number 11 with the first carry. They'll put 2 receivers to the right here on this 2nd down and 9 play with the ball thrown 25.
They shift into the same formation, this time with the wide out set as a slot back on the wide side.
There's the snap to Black. Black drops it into the belly of his back, goes up the middle. He's fighting forward and gets stopped right back at the line of scrimmage. That time, Jacob Regal with the carry as he's brought down.
Aiden Aldbrooks, the senior linebacker and running back, made that tackle for North Stanly. And big 3rd down coming. Got a nice, bright, lit down marker.
Got a down clock over here, play clock.
We're not used to seeing play clocks.
We are not.
Play clock seems to be a luxury in Cabarrus County.
Yes, it does, as they put 2 to the right. There is the snap. He drops it in the belly of his running back there. He's trying to fight forward. He's able to get it up to the 30. That's going to be Aiden Smith.
Yeah, not much there. It got a little bit on. It's kind of a counter play. And the defense stays at home, and that'll force a punt.
And something wild that we're not used to seeing there, Mark. We didn't call Ethan Dempsey at all on that series.
No, not yet.
And it looks like number 5 back deep to receive is going to be Solomon Hudson. Back deep to receive this one as he stands back at his own 40. A low snap, able to get it up. A good punt. It's headed towards the Mount Pleasant sideline. He goes out of bounds.
Almost kicked it into the stands.
He almost did.
We'll see where they mark that one out of bounds.
Officials at the 40 and walking forward still. And he's up to the 45, and that's where the Comets take over. And good field position for the Comets, Mark.
Yeah, that hit the base of the stands on the Mount Pleasant side of things. a short directional kick, trying to kick away from Hudson, looked like. The other thing, a low snap, and he wanted to make sure he was kicking away from the pressure.
Players to watch out for here for the Comets. Your receiving leader is going to be Jalen McCoy with 62 yards per game, and then Aiden Allsbrook rushing has 7 touchdowns, averaging 52 per game as they move McCoy in motion from right to left. There is this snap. They give it off to the back, who goes up the middle, and he picks up a yard as they give that off to Allsbrook.
Yeah, short gain there. A lot of window dressing on that one, maybe setting up an RPO coming up later on. You see the quarterback going back, just looking to throw the ball. But a 1 yard gain.
Going to make it a 2nd and 9 here after the 1 yard pickup. Moves the ball up to the 46. Working left to right, ball spotted left hash. They line up trips far out right, one left, running back in the backfield behind his quarterback of Sleever. Sleever gets it, hands it off again to Allsbrook. He finds a hole near side, comes this way, he's got enough for the first down, and he stops just short of the 40 at the 42.
Yeah, the tackle for Mount Pleasant at that time, deep in the secondary, Bradley Wallace. One of the junior linebackers for Mount Pleasant. Now they're in Tiger territory at the 42.
The common opponents for these teams, both of them perfect. Comets 3-0, Mount Pleasant 4-0. They line up 2 left, 1 right. They go to the ball carrier, takes it to the left side this time, and he'll pick up a couple and get the ball up to the 41, it looks like. That's going to be
it's going to be about a
Lilly.
yard gain.
Juice Lilly, the junior running back, so they'll give him a yard, as you said there, Mark. Clock continues to run down to 8:50 left here. First quarter, no score on the board yet, nothing. First possession for the Comets. Mount Pleasant's first possession resulted in a 3 and out. They come out here for this 2nd down and 9 play with the ball at the 41 with 2 to the right, 1 to the left. They move McCoy in motion from right to left into the slot. Quarterback of Sleever slings it, and that one falls out of the hands of Nathan Helms.
Boy, he had it right in his hands. I wonder if there may have been some distraction in the hand that came through. He had to turn back just slightly, but the ball hit him right in both hands.
And he did exactly what you want to do. Catch it with the hands. Don't let it hit your chest. That one there, just not able to bring it in.
That would have been close to a first down after he finished the run, but a big 3rd down now.
Brings up a 3rd down and 9 here. They showed blitz, but back out. Seaver set to throw. That's going to be caught far side of the field. And right there at the first down marker, but fights forward and enough to get it. It's going to be Jalen McCoy.
Yeah, Schaefer had time to throw. He picked out his receiver, and he runs for the first down.
McCoy averaging 62 yards per game this year for the Comets. Moves the ball up to the 30-yard line and moves the chains for the Comets. And they are able to get the first down there on a 3rd down and 9 as they were behind the chains. Ball still spotted left hash for the Comets. Ball carrier is Elijah Bryant. They put a receiver left, 2 to the right. They go to the ball carrier. Bryant goes up the middle, and he'll get about 3 there on that carry.
I think that may be Allsbrook. 2.
Is that 2? It might have been a 2. I thought it was 22. No, it's 12.
12, okay. We were both wrong. That's Jaden Little, sophomore running back.
Yep.
Okay, pretty stout-looking young man. Got some big thighs. Looking at,
big
you like to see that with your running backs.
Move a man in motion of Grambling. He's now left side with trips. They throw this one again back to the same man of Helms, and that one low, and he can't get it as he pushes it into the dirt. Incomplete. And again, behind the chains here, Mark.
Yeah, the umpire was signaling tipped ball, so one of the Tigers got a hand on the ball. Little's checked out. Now they're going to bring, looks like Justice Lilly in the backfield.
So Lilly lines up at the back position on this 3rd down and about 6 here as they're behind the chains yet again facing a 3rd down. They put 2 tight ends out there and a receiver each way. They give it to Lilly. Lilly hitting the backfield before he has anywhere to go, and a huge stop for the Mount Pleasant Tigers as Lilly smoked.
Well, you're in no man's land right here on 4th down and 11 at the 31. Be a 48-yard field goal. The offense staying on the field. You're probably not sure how strong the leg is for Carter, their place kicker.
The tackle, just from a quick glimpse, as best as I could do, looked like it was Eli Von Cannon who made the tackle. I couldn't tell for sure.
One of the big guys up front for the Tigers.
They'll line up trips to the right, one to the left here on 4th down. Cheever set to throw. Goes left side, caught by McCoy. McCoy brought down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss and a turnover on downs, and now Mount Pleasant steps up big.
There was a host of Tigers waiting. This is just a wide receiver screen. Had 2 blockers, but and the idea is you block your man, but Mount Pleasant had more players out there than the blockers.
A lot of white jerseys over there on the far side of the field. They make a stop, force a turnover on downs, and get the ball at their own 30-yard line after the first drive resulted in a 3 and out as they punted it away. The lineup trips left, set to throw. That one batted in the air, and it's intercepted. Taking it back to the house is Gavin Helms, and touchdown for the Comets.
Wow. That is a huge, huge play.
Gavin Helms came off that right edge mark, and he sniffed that short pass out so easily. Jumps up, picks it off, and takes it 30 yards back to the house for the first score of the game.
Good hands, man. He threw it right into his hands. He kind of batted almost to himself. A really, really good play there by the defensive end coming in. You got to get his hands up in the air. Sometimes he probably tried to throw that too quick, and you got to either get it over, get him up and down, and then throw. But
much agreed with you on that one, Mark. Definitely had to get him to bite. The Comets saw something on film there, and they strike and are able to get the first score of the game. And that one right there sets the tone and is a huge momentum shifter here in this conference matchup. As there is the snap for the extra point, the place, the kick, it's up, and it is good. The score here at R.N. Jeffrey Stadium, 7-0 as North Stanly strikes first in this conference matchup as they take the early lead here.
Yeah, that's a big, big defensive play.
And now you're going right back on defense here, Mark, and the momentum is on your side after that pick. And now you've got to stop them. And if you're that junior quarterback over there on the far side of the field, a Colin Black, you got to just forget about that interception. You have a whole bunch of ball game left. You're not even 6 minutes into the first quarter yet. So
if this were soccer, it'd be 1-0.
It'd be 1-0.
I like to pull the old soccer out. It says 7 on the scoreboard, but it's really 1.
It's only 1. And it looks a whole lot better just to say 1 than it does 7. 7 looks like a lot when you look at it on a scoreboard. And it looks like number 7 of Michael Estevez, one of the ones back deep to receive. And I can't check the far side of the field. Estevez near side, far side a little far away from us at our vantage point with those gold numbers on the white jerseys to be able to tell you it is. Usually it's Dempsey out there, but I can't tell if that's who it is. And they go towards Estevez, who feels it, but he loses it out of his hands, picks it up at the 2. Now Estevez coming down the left hash, starts to work left, and he's brought down at the 15, and a huge stop there, and it looks like it's Helms again, Mark.
I tell you what, North Stanly is fired up. They're coming up after every good play, making.
Was that? No, that was not Helms. That was Solomon Hudson.
So Hudson doing a nice job with the tackle.
But a big play there as Helms trots back out there at his defensive end spot. I'm going to try to get him another pick 6, but the Tigers pin back deep at their own 15 after the bobble from Estevez. Able to recover a little bit as he got it at his own 2. Able to get 13 yards on that return. They shift some motion here. They give this off to it looks like Dempsey, and he takes off. And he's hit after a pickup of 1.
Yeah, not much there. Another
that was not
good
Dempsey.
Defensive play.
That was Cameron Castry, the wide receiver. It's tough to see the jerseys. We apologize, folks.
We may just stop calling.
We might not say names. We might just say who does what.
Yeah, Mount Pleasant. We may just have to say Tigers running the inside, running outside.
Unless we can really tell. They'll put 1 receiver to the right, 2 to the left here on this 2nd down and 8 play. Clock down to 6 minutes here. Ball at their own 17-yard line. Black gets it, looks to the right side of the field, got a man over there, drops it in the basket at the 40, and he makes the catch.
Oh,
what
tremendous throw.
What a play on the far side of the field to bring it in, and a beautiful dime dropped in there by Colin Black.
Safety is coming up over the top, so he has to throw the ball to the outside toward the sideline. He had plenty of room at the sideline, so he just drops it in that vacant area. And the safety, number 10, really had a long way to run. That's Nathan, I believe that's Nathan Helms, and Helms just couldn't get there in time to help, and perfect throw by Black.
Owen Deaton, the one with the catch. They're going to line up 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Black pulls it down himself, and he'll take off up the middle, and he'll get it up to the 45. And a good run from the quarterback keeper. Gets the ball up to the 36-yard line. So a good run from Black there on first down. Makes it a more manageable second down here, Mark.
Yeah, you got a lot of different options to carry the ball from Mount Pleasant. They don't have any one dominant player. They'll let Regal carry it. They'll let Black carry it. Got to get it in Dempsey's hands a number of times.
You'll even put in Aiden Smith.
Yeah.
Honeycutt a little bit every now and then at the tight end spot. You'll line him up in the Wildcat. Second down and 7 here as they shift a man in motion. Now they run the reverse up the middle and up to the midfield. They're going to run that one there with Aiden Smith.
Yeah, Regal took the handoff and then makes the second handoff. Of course, we saw Regal earlier in the year play quarterback, and so making that handoff's nothing for him.
Nothing for him, for sure, like you said. Ball spotted midfield here, facing a third down and about 3, a long 3.
If you make something positive, don't make the first down, you're still in a good position to go for it on 4th down.
They'll line up trips left, working right to left here, wing back to the right. Black shifts a man in motion of Regal. Pitches it to Regal. Regal fighting for it, but he only picks up 1. And now you got a tough decision to make on the far side of the field, and Coach Daniel Crosby.
I think the Tigers go for this. This is kind of what they would routinely do out here, anywhere from probably their own 40 on out. Then you got 4th and 2, 4th and 1. This looks like about 4th and 2.5, maybe. Not quite 3 yards to go.
Yeah, 4th and a long 2. They'll line up trips left. Black looks back over towards the sideline. And
no, Tigers substitute.
Now they bring out.
They're going to go with that big jumbo package.
No,
but only 5 seconds. They're going to have to call a timeout.
They're going to have to because it's down to 2, 1.
They're going to take the delay of game.
They did get the delay of game.
Or did they get the timeout?
Delay of game.
Delay of game. Well, last week you and I went through a whole game without a delay of game, without a back judge, with no 30-second clock, and
this here pretty much, Mark, like you just said, we went through that whole game, no delay of game. This one here pretty much takes you out of a chance of going for it as the punting unit heads out there for the Tigers.
Yeah, that's a mistake on the Tigers. You get what you want. Northwest has jumped out on Robinson 10-7 as they've added a field goal.
Back to get this one is Jalen McCoy. McCoy kicks it, catches it, makes the catch at the 20, dances around, now coming near side, grabbed, still on his feet, getting shoved backwards now. They're going to mark forward progress back at the 18-yard line, so a loss of 2 on that one, Mark, as he looked like he was going to make something happen for a minute.
Yeah, when he made that first man miss, but the thing about punt returns, if you're going to run side to side and spin around, it does not work all the time. You got to be faster. Somebody's got to be out of their lanes, and the defense has to make a mistake. If you run it straight up the field, take what you've got, and then make one good cut, you're going to have a better percentage overall. But in that case, it just never really got up the field. He was going side to side.
Comets offense heads back out there. They give this handoff to the ball carrier who goes up the middle. That looks like, is that 12? That's 12.
Yeah, I believe that's 12 up there.
Jaden
so that Little, nice hard run, pick up about 4.
Little comes out, and Allsbrook heads back in. Got a 12 and a 2, and
yeah.
After the first down run, a pickup of 4 there. Makes it a second down and 6. Working left to right, ball smack dab in the middle of the field. They'll put 1 receiver each direction and split them. Allsbrook gets it. Comes near side here. Still on his feet after absorbing the first hit. Fights forward up near the 30. Right at the line.
He should have the first down. Looks like where they're marking it is going to be right at the 30.
They are moving the chains, so a first down there for Allsbrook as it moves the chains for the Comets. And the Comets started at their own 40 on that first drive, Mark.
A good punt a moment ago. Bend them back.
2:30 left here, first quarter. North Stanly leads 7-0 over Mount Pleasant in this 1A, 2A Yadkin Valley Conference matchup.
turnovers in big games like this, and that's what resulted in the first score, and we got whistles before the play develops.
We're going to say a false start on the Comets, and that's going to back them up. That's going to put them behind the sticks here on this first down. It's going to make it a 1st and 15 here. But I'd rather it happen on first down than any other down because you're behind the chains. You can make it up. If you do that on third down,
second
you're in
or
trouble.
third down, yeah, you're in trouble because you're already down 1 down.
So the clock stopped with 2:21 left here, first quarter. The Comets get the sign from their head coach here on the sideline of Chad Little.
Not the race car driver.
No, it's not Chad Little, that one. If so, I'd be down there asking for an autograph. As they get this one and they move the man in motion from left to right, hand it off to him. He spins and twists and fights forward is Justice Grambling.
Grambling got that little pitch and just couldn't quite squeeze through the hole there. A couple of Tigers got arms on him to slow him down.
We'll give him a pickup of 1 there on that carry for Grambling as Grambling came out of
Grambling was rambling.
He was rambling as much as he could as he went from that left side to the right side out of the slot. Only picked up a yard. They're going to line up here in the I formation with the quarterback in the gun. They put it in the belly of the back there of Lilly. He comes near side across the numbers, and he's stopped, and a flag flies in from the white hat.
It's either, let's see what it is. It's going to be a face mask. So face mask against Mount Pleasant will give them the first down.
Tackle made there by Aiden Smith. That'll move it forward 15 yards.
It was not a hard grasp, but boy, it was enough to draw the flag. So it's looks like a 5-yard mark off.
So a first down for the Comets, puts the ball at their own 40. Now working off the right hash left to right here as the clock has 1:26 left and running. They'll put 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, short side. There is the snap to Sheaver. Sheaver rolls right, set to throw, and that one out of the reach there as he tried to go back to Nathan Helms again. He's still trying to get his first catch of the day. Been targeted for the 3rd time here, Mark.
Yeah, pressure coming on from the Tigers. Levi Furr, and also coming on the pressure that time was Lane Honeycutt.
Honeycutt, a name that we'll be calling a lot tonight. One of the stars of the defense for the Tigers. They'll line up for a 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion on first down, and they'll put trips left. There is a snap. They give it off to the ball carrier there. He goes up the middle, and a nice chunk of yards there for Little as he gets it out to the 46, working right.
Oh, Little runs hard inside the tackles.
He's running inside the tackles tough, like you said. He's taking a lot of them to the short side of the field, too, so far, Little is, which right now is working to the right side, and he's been able to bust it.
Sometimes in the short side of the field, you can get an advantage with numbers-wise.
They'll put a wingback left side this time. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. There's the snap to Sheaver. Sheaver hands it off again, and this time the ball carrier fights towards midfield as Little, and he's brought down at the 50.
Yeah, had a nice convoy there coming through. Gavin Helms leading the way into that hole. That's another first down now for North Stanly.
Lilly checks back in at the running back position here for the Comets.
Lilly, I don't have heights and weights on some of these players we do. Let's see if we've got. No, Lilly's not one of them.
I'll have to grab my sheet. We might have it on our other sheet here. Once we get a break, I'll grab that. We'll put 2 to the left, 1 to the right here. They'll put Lilly in the backfield behind the quarterback. The quarterback of Sheaver set to throw, looks left, throws, and over the head, and the receiver gets popped. Right after it's over his head is McCoy.
Yeah, that ball was kind of airmailed a little bit.
That name McCoy rings a bell to you. Did that name ring a bell to you at all? We called him?
There's McCoy. McCoy's on both sides, I believe, or at least in the past there have been McCoys on Mount Pleasant. I don't know if they got a McCoy this year or not.
And then we also had a McCoy.
Yeah, Jacob McCoy is one of the offensive linemen for Mount Pleasant.
We've also had, how about the McCoy we called at St. Andrews for some NAIA football? We had him as well. So we had a whole bunch of McCoys we've called some games for as Lilly lines up in the backfield. He'll put a receiver each way and whistles on the field.
So I'll give you some old man trivia. Who was Amos McCoy in the real McCoys?
I don't know who that is.
Walter Brennan.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that one.
Yeah, it's way before your time. It might not before my time.
It was before mine. I know a little bit about the Houtfield McCoys, but I've watched a couple of the documentaries on it, but I don't know.
And I think the real McCoys, they spell it with a C instead of a K.
I think I can agree. Seaver set to throw here, rolls left. Pressure's getting to him, but he gets out of it. Now he's going to keep rolling, throws before he hits the ground. It's going to be caught. I can't tell if it's caught, but it's incomplete through the hands of the intended target.
That was a wild play. Well, Shaver kept that play alive.
Yeah, Shaver definitely kept it alive.
And he stepped through an arm tackle, just kind of galloped through it.
And then got hit on the other side of the field as he released it. And
I'm not sure how he got the ball to him, to be honest with you.
He comes back.
It was going to be well short of the first down anyway.
It was going to be short, and as he came back there, you saw Shaver coming back holding his left hip, but he seems to be fine as he walks back into the huddle.
Into the first quarter.
With the score 7-0. The Comets on top of the Tigers here at R.N. Jeffries Stadium and the 1A, 2A Yadkin Valley Conference. And I was looking at the conference standings before we got here, Mark. The standings look like this in this conference. You have Mount Pleasant on top, 3-0 in conference. You got North Stanly in second, 2-0 in conference. And then right underneath them, you got Lake Norman Charter, 1-1. And Lake Norman Charter was able to defeat North Stanly just a couple of weeks ago, 22-10. So if North Stanly wins this game and then loses against Albemarle,
they would be out. Yeah,
there's a chance that Lake Norman Charter winds up winning this conference. So North Stanly needs to win back-to-back games to win it, and if Mount wins it tonight, they'll be your conference champions in this conference. And next week at Robinson, when they have the Battle of 49, it'll just be a rivalry game between the two schools that continues. You have to think, not saying anything mean against Mount, but you'd have to think Robinson would be the favor in that one. They'll line up with the ball at midfield, put two receivers left, one to the right. Quarterback set to throw here, Shaver. He throws one up, and it's going to be picked off by the Tigers. And I can't see who's got it. It's going to be 22 who comes down with that one there. It's going to be Jackson Burris with the interception, and the ball spotted at their own 37-yard line as Burris just wanted that one more.
Yeah, we've called Burris' name a couple of times, partially because he plays on the near side here where we can see his number.
Yeah, it's the easiest part when you can see it. Once they basically get to that.
But they get to the near hash mark, their number is it might as well just be a gold blob.
So we can catch them before they get to the near hash mark, but once they get there, it's a little tough for us to see. Whole line up here with.
We think Colin Black's a quarterback.
We think that's who it is.
He's at the hash mark. I still can't read it.
They send Regal in motion. They give it to Regal. Regal's got a huge hole working left. He's at midfield, and he falls forward inside of Comets territory at the 49, and a huge run from Jacob Regal working left, Mark.
It looks like they may have made an adjustment. They had been running tight in near the center and the guards. That time pushed it out just a little bit and made that almost a sweep.
They brought him from the right slide slot position and just ran him, and they're running him again in the same play. They run him from the right side slot. This time nothing happening as he works left and gets back to the line of scrimmage. They tried to run that same play again, Mark, and that time didn't work for him.
Well, there was some penetration. Got the guys out on that side of the field pushed back, and Regal doesn't want to have to go deeper into the backfield, so you cut it back in and you take what you can get. That time it was just a no gain.
Live to find another down on this 2nd down and 10 play with 11 minutes left here in this first half. Regal again in motion from the right hash. They give it to him. He works left, finds another hole, fights forward up to the 45.
He takes that handoff and just puts his foot in the ground, cuts up the field almost immediately upon getting the ball.
Yeah, he gets it, and he goes north to south real fast. There's no east to west once he touches the rock.
Getting another run defender in the lineup is Sashawn Swindell's checked into the lineup. Want to put in a little beef right in the middle of the line for North Stanly.
Where's the beef?
There's the beef.
There it is. They'll put one receiver to the right. Now they'll shift the man from left to right. Black set to throw, looks deep. That one's going to be caught at the number. That's Dempsey streaking down the right sideline. He stops, makes a man miss, slip and fall. Now spins, twist, fights, and Ethan Dempsey's in there for the first time for the Tigers.
45-yard pass play, a 50-50 ball thrown by Black, and it is taken away. And Dempsey with his dance moves, must be homecoming or something back in Tiger Town because he was spinning like John Travolta.
He looked like John Travolta. He looked like Michael Jackson. He had it all going on that one out there. He caught that ball and made all kinds of Comet blue jerseys miss. He gets in there for the touchdown, and we are an extra point away from knotting this one up at 7.
So Tigers to kick.
Out to kick this one here. I'm trying to find the kicker on the sheet there, Mark. There he is. Braden Sellers to kick this one. We await the extra point to tie this one up. There's the snap, the place, the kick. It's up, and it is good. We are all tied at 7 here at R.N. Jeffries Stadium with 10:19 left. And the Tigers get a big answer there, Mark, as they were able to step up and get that.
Yeah, that's a big play for the Tigers. The longer you keep the game close, the longer you trail in the game, the more it becomes a mental game. And sometimes the superior team does not win in that case. And I think coming in, everybody would probably agree, Mount Pleasant, the better team on paper at least.
For sure. Have a couple of updates on our Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard real quick there, Mark. You got Porter Ridge and RS Central right now, 14-10. Porter Ridge leads that one. And one more, Weddington and Cumberson in action tonight. That one's a big one. Probably one of the games of the week down in Charlotte. Weddington leads that one 3-0. Weddington, the defending 4A state champions. And I'll give one more before we kick this one away. Mooresville, A.L. Brown. We all remember last year the big playoff matchup, first round between those two. A.L. Brown almost got that upset. Well, tonight they trail 14-7 against Mooresville. And they're trying to pull the upset yet again in that one. We'll go back to our Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard here in a moment after the kickoff as the Tigers kick this one away after the touchdown score from Ethan Dempsey. It's a short directional kick, left side, going to be fielded at the 30 on the numbers. Now works it towards us here, working down the left hash, and he gets hit just across the 30 at the 31.
Well, very little return, and when you run a kick return, a punt return, east and west, sideline to sideline, unless somebody makes a mistake or somebody just gets blown up, if you keep your lanes, there's no way you can get the corner turn. And he ran, what?
Probably 30 yards.
20, 30 yards and gained about 2 yards.
That was Solomon Hudson there.
If he runs straight up the field, he's at least the 35, maybe the 40 before he gets any resistance. Now we got timeout on the field.
Tigers call that timeout. Head coach Daniel Crosby on the far side of the field calling his first. That'll give us a second here, Mark, to check our Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard.
Hey, let's go to China Grove. Central Cabarrus 16, Carson 6.
Independent Rocky River. Independent leads that one 24-0. South Iredell, Lake Norman. And it's another matchup that I was interested in right there. That's a pretty good matchup. I had it on my sheet here to watch that game. Lake Norman trails 10-7 in that one. So Lake Norman, we saw them a couple of weeks ago, Mark, and that is a very, very, very talented football team, Lake Norman. But tonight, South Iredell giving them all they can handle.
Well, let's see. Now we're ready to go back to live action.
After the timeout there on the far side of the field, that leaves the Tigers with 2. Now the whistle's blowing. We're set for action. They'll shift the receiver from right to left out of the slot, so that leaves 1 right, 2 left. They hand this off to the ball carrier who goes up the middle. He's fighting, pushing the pile. He's going to get it up to the 35. Looks like Little with the carry there.
Yeah, just stack that one up.
And just a couple of yards there, he's able to get it up to the 35. So a pickup of 3 there on first down. It's going to make it a 2nd down and 7 here for the Comets. They'll put 2 receivers to the right, a single back in the backfield, and 1 to the left. Ball spotted at their own 35. There is the snap. Shaver decides to keep it and come near side towards the sideline, and he'll be rode out of bounds near the line of scrimmage, and they'll give him a yard to the 36.
Looks like number 8 for the Tigers. Well, maybe that's number 2, Kinzer Flynn with the tackle. Mount Pleasant showed run blitz. They had 2 linebackers right in over the center and guard ready to go, and I think Shaver thought, maybe I can break contain. Flynn was having nothing to do with that, and he ran him out of bounds after maybe a yard gain.
Allsbrook in there is the ball carrier right now. They're going to have action. Yeah, they're going to put Allsbrook in there. And it looks like Little is, and they're going to put the quarterback, a Shaver, under center, so they're going to go power I here. Whistles on the field. Not the play clock, and they have
looks like
false start on the offense. I didn't even see him get
I didn't see
set all
anybody
the way.
move either, but
And I don't know where the false start came from. I didn't see anybody even get set there, Mark. They were just getting up to the line of scrimmage.
Unless they moved the football, the center moved the football or something. I didn't see what happened.
Yeah, I didn't see nothing happen. Anything that's normal, that not abnormal to happen into a football game. And
if you don't do a lot of
now they're moving. Okay, I thought they were moving the football back, but he left it there.
If you don't do a lot of under center, it's a little different. You know, you snap it different than you do if it's a long snap. I wonder if maybe if the center had moved the football.
Again, line up, power I. They're going to set to throw out of it. Shaver looks here deep. He's got a guy. Underthrows it, and it hits him in his hands, and he can't hold on to it. And McCoy.
Pass interference.
Underthrew it, and McCoy had a good shot at it, but the defender just all over him. Looks like it's 23 of Owen Deaton.
Maybe 20. It may be 22.
22?
Jackson, is it? Well, let's.
Might be 22, Jackson Burris.
They made contact. Sometimes you get away with that. Sometimes you don't. But I thought pretty good call. I think he catches the ball if there's not contact.
I agree with you. Tough to tell who made that one there. It could have been, like you said, you thought it was 22. I thought it might be 23, but one of the Tigers for sure. Got pass interference called on him. That moves the ball up for a first down as they hand this one off left side or right side, and he runs into a pile as Lilly. He'll pick up 2 there. Lilly will. So a 2nd 8 after the short pickup there. 9 minutes left here in the first half. I want to remind you, Ben Minot Shop, Click, and Drive halftime show coming up at halftime here, where we'll give you updates on our Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard. And you know what we really haven't got to talk about a lot
What's
yet?
that? The Pizza Hut Red Zone.
Nobody's really visited the pizza.
Yeah, they ran through the Pizza Hut Red Zone twice, once on a pick 6 and once on a pass play.
They hand this one off right up the middle to Allbrook, and he's got enough for the first down, and he fights all the way up to the 41 of the Tigers. And that was a good run.
Yeah, it was. Good hard run, and he was a shoestring away from 6. Well, I know how we can tell Ethan Dempsey. He's got 2 pink socks and a pink left sleeve.
I love it. That's a good way to identify it. So we're going to keep that one in
mind.
So
we got that one. We know at least one.
They line up here with a wing back left. They hand this one off to the ball carrier who works to the right of Little. Ball's out on the ground, and jumping on it back again is the Comets.
Wow.
Up at the 30. As that ball popped out as Little was carrying it. And
Gavin Helms, I think, comes up with it.
That is Gavin Helms.
2 big plays for Helms, a pick 6 and a fumble recovery that maintains possession for North Stanly.
Moves the ball up to the 30 after the fumble there from Little.
That happens sometimes. You're fighting for extra yardage, and somebody gets a hand on the ball, gets a punch on the ball, and they're constantly ripping at it.
Lilly, the ball carrier, lines directly behind Shaver. They put 2 receivers left, one to the right, ball at the 30. They give it to Lilly, who works right up the middle, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and stacked up by a host of Tigers.
Yeah, I think
76, 78, one of those two?
Yeah, I think 78. Jacob McCoy was the first man to make contact, and he got good penetration and just got the arms around, and you see him pulling the running back backwards.
I think I figured out what my next investment's going to be for broadcasting.
Oh, what, you got to get you some field glass?
I'm going to get me some binoculars for the booth. I'm going to hang them around my neck and use them. So a 2nd down and 10 here. Ball spotted, middle of the field at the 30. Shaver rolls to the right, throws one into the flats, and that one incomplete, and that is the 4th time he's targeted Nathan Helms, and he's still yet to have a completion yet, Mark.
He's had at least, I don't know if it's Helms, but there's been at least 3 drops so far, and that really makes your offense one-dimensional. Mount Pleasant at some point is going to say, okay, you guys can't complete a pass. We're gonna just key the run.
Yeah, Helms has dropped 2 of them. I know it for sure. He was the one that dropped the first pass, and he dropped another one there. And then the other one that he was targeted on was buried in the dirt after being tipped. So they'll put 2 receivers left, 1 to the right here, 3rd down and 10, 1 back in the backfield. They hand it off to the back in the backfield. He'll fight forward for a pickup of 2, but not enough to get the first down as Lilly is going to bring up a 4th down and 8 here.
And I believe you're going to have another 4th down attempt here. Last time they tried the wide receiver screen, it did not work. You got checking into the lineup now, Aiden Alsbright, and they'll bring out Lilly. So got a little more of a scat back.
So a new back in the backfield here.
Tigers sub out a linebacker for a defensive back.
They'll line up trips far out left in a bunch, 1 out to the right. Allsbrook in the backfield and whistles on the field for stoppage of play.
Maybe a timeout. Let's see it. I didn't see a flag.
I didn't either, but it was a near side and false start defense or encroachment.
That's a big penalty. Offside. That will make it. This changes the play from a potential pass only to a pass or run.
Yeah, you can line up Power I here and run this with Lilly or Little or Allsbrook, any of them. You could even keep it in the quarterback hands of Shaver, and he could take off with it here. So this opens up everything in your playbook facing this 4th down and about 2.
7-7. We've got probably the best drive of the day for North Stanly, but a 4th down coming.
2 to the left, 1 to the right. There's the snap to Shaver. Shaver hands it off right up the middle. Enough for the first down and still running inside the 10, and a good run there by Allsbrook.
Touchdown saving tackle in the secondary. That may be Burris.
Burris with the tackle. Stops him at the 8, and it's the first time we're going to call him today. Check it out in the Pizza Hut Red Zone. Remember, it's not too late to go to pizzahut.com. Get yourself a pizza, cinnamon sticks.
One of the offensive linemen down for North Stanly, a little slow getting up, so they got a stoppage of play.
Looks like number 76. I can't tell for sure. It might not be 76, might be 78 over there. We'll wait and get an official number on that injured player once he stands up off the field. And this gives us time to thank all the trainers and athletic trainers and student trainers who make it possible for all these athletes. They're provided by Atrium Health. They're at every practice, every game, everything. So all these athletes at the high school level can compete and showcase their talents and try to go to college and maybe even the NFL one day. So a big shout out to all of the athletic trainers, student trainers, and Atrium Health for everything they do to make it possible for these athletes. And it looks like it's number 70 there coming off the field of Sean Swindell.
Yeah.
And that's a big man, Swindell.
Well, the Tigers on that last play ran past the running back. He got inside of one of the charging. I think it was a linebacker that was back in the backfield. Turned into a big play.
Clock running here. Not sure why the clock's running. There was a timeout on an injured player.
Yeah, it was an injured player, so they restart when they're ready.
That's correct, as they hand this one off to the ball carrier who works right, and he's right there at the goal line but stopped short, and I couldn't catch the jersey before he took off running there.
Yeah, lined up in that power eye under center, and it's going to get down just about the 2-yard line.
Looks like Juice Lilly with the carry there, and that's who that is, Juice Lilly. That is the beefier of the backs they got there, Mark, Juice Lilly, and they use him inside.
Swindell coming back in now.
So putting the beef back up front are the Comets. Ball spotted at the 1. It's going to be a 2nd down and goal play here. They line up power eye, put Shaver under center. They give it to Lilly. Lilly runs into a pile of Tigers, pushes it, and he's in there. 5:30 left here, first half, and Lilly runs one in from a yard out. The Comets take a 13-7 lead here. But not all is damaged here yet, Mark. There's still 5.5 minutes left in this quarter. And the Tigers can score, but the Comets get the second half.
Yeah, they'll get that second half kickoff after Tigers got the first one.
So if you're Coach Crosby on the far side of the field, you're thinking 7 here. You have to be, as we await the extra point from the kicker here. Noah Carter, the senior, 5'9", 155 pounds. There's the snap to place the kick. It's up, and it is good. The score, 14-7 with 5:30 left here, first half. And this 1A, 2A Yadkin Valley Conference matchup, Mark Plemmons, James Melick for you guys here on the call, and give a couple of updates from our Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard while we get set up here for the kickoff. We have a battle of a team that's going to get their first win of the year, Cox Mill and Hickory Ridge. Cox Mill leads that one 14-0 over Hickory Ridge. The last update you gave on the Robinson Northwest game was Northwest 10, Robinson 7. I have it 7-7, so we'll go with yours because that's the newest update. See if we can get some more. West Charlotte and Chambers. This one here, a wee bit of a, not really a surprise, but in years past you would think Chambers would be rolling them. But West Charlotte, a really good football team this year. They're leading that one 13-0 over Chambers. Providence, Garinger, 34-0 Providence. Let's see here. South Stanly and Lake Norman Charter. South Stanly leads that one 7-0. That is another conference matchup here in the 1A, 2A Yadkin Valley. And if you're the Comets and you're leading right now and you look and you see Lake Norman Charter getting beat, you're a big fan of that.
Absolutely.
Back deep to receive is going to be Dempsey and Estevez. They line drive kick this one. It's off the hands and bounces to the ground at the 25. Makes a move towards the middle of the field. He's going to be hit just across the 35 at the 37. That one there is going to be Cameron Charterai, the senior wide receiver.
So Tiger's going to get pretty good field position.
Get the ball at the 37-yard line, their own 37-yard line here, working left to right here with 5:24 left, trailing by 7. Needing a score here, and if you're Coach Crosby, you know a 7 spot on the board is massive. They'll line up trips left, wing back right. They shift the slot man from left to right. They hand it off to Regal, who works left out of the right side wing back, and he fights forward all the way up to the 46.
They orbited Dempsey into the backfield. You got Dempsey, you have to pay attention, and that takes just a little bit of focus off of Regal running that little counter coming back in the direction of the motion.
They'll line up 2 receiver or trips left this time. They line up Aiden Smith as the wing back on the right side. Shift the slot guy. This time the slot guy gets it working right. He gets hit and popped right at the line of scrimmage and goes down at the 45. Ethan Dempsey.
Yeah, Alsbright just tackled Dempsey, just put both arms around him and planted him on the ground. Absolutely. Now, that was different motion. The previous motion was orbiting, coming back and back, kind of arcing back into the backfield. That was more of a jet motion, and he just took the handoff in front of the quarterback.
This time they put one receiver far out left.
This is an odd formation, full house shotgun.
They're going to run it left this time. Finds a hole. Got enough for the first down. Still on his feet running is Regal. Regal streaking down the left sideline. Stops. Puts the brakes on. Cuts back inside and is slung to the ground at the 25.
Yeah, that's they line up with a full house backfield. That means 3 backs just side by side by side. They're about a yard in front of the quarterback who's in a shotgun. And they just snap it to the quarterback, and he follows those 3 blockers, the tight end and the tackle on the left side, and just plow their way into the secondary.
And it's even better, like you just said, when you snap it to the quarterback at the time, who is Regal, and Regal can play quarterback and running back. He could have slung it there, and instead he decided to run it. So a nice play there from Jacob Regal. Gets the ball all the way up to the Comets 25 here with 3:40 left, and Coach Crosby getting this offense rolling. He lines up trips right here, wing back to the left. And timeout, I saw Crosby running as fast as he could to get down there. See if they award it.
Yeah,
they awarded it.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yes, they did. He came sprinting down the sideline. He was standing at about the 45, and he sprinted all the way to the 25 to get that timeout in there. That's their second timeout here of the first half, so only 1 left for the Tigers.
Looked like they had Dempsey set up in the slot with maybe one-on-one coverage. And
it looks like we have an update here from Chris Hudson at the J.M. Robinson Northwest game. Robinson leads 14-10 at half in the South Piedmont Conference, and Robinson trying to win their 3rd straight South Piedmont Conference championship, Mark, as they've won back-to-back already, trying to go for their 3rd one under head coach Jason Seidel.
Both these 2 teams that are playing are really good. Northwest, after that early season loss to West Cabarrus, have run the table to this point. You saw them against Mount Pleasant. Tigers, couldn't come up with a late field goal to win.
Northwest looks really good with Coach Mormon. Mormon in his, I think, 4th year there as head coach. He's taken over after Coach Gentry left and went over to West Cabarrus. West Cabarrus.
I'm not sure how many years. It's 4 or 5.
Took over once Coach Gentry left to go over West Cabarrus when they opened the new school. Now they shift Jimpsey in motion from the slot left side. They throw this one into the flat, going to be caught by Regal. Regal going to be wrapped up, but still fighting forward, and he gets it up to the 20 before being 21, they'll mark him at. So just outside the Pizza Hut red zone.
Yeah, trying to make it into a bigger play. You see him kind of dancing back. I think he had a few more yards if he just continues straight ahead, but he was trying to make it even more than 1 or 2 more yards.
So it brings up a second down in about, call it 6 here.
They really charged hard, and Black had to get rid of the ball quickly.
They'll line up trips to the left, working left to right, ball spotted on the right hash. They hand this to the man who comes out of the slot. He finds a seam, and he's going to reach for the pylon, and he's diving in there, Jacob Regal.
Wow, that's a nice play. 21-yard touchdown run.
And they just blew right through the drive-through and everything. Didn't even make a stop at Pizza Hut, but they will trot back over to their sideline just waiting for an extra point to tie this one up with 2:50 left here at R.N. Jeffrey Stadium in North Stanly.
Yeah, good job that time. He had blockers out front. There wasn't a hole initially, but he waited for the blockers to work, and they did their magic. They got engaged. They pushed a couple of guys, and there was a crease, and I'm not sure if he was even touched all the way to the end zone.
There's the snap to place the kick. It's up, and we are all knotted up here with 2:50 at 14.
So Sellers with the kick, and 14-14 our score. Now North Stanly has an opportunity for a 2-for-1 here. It's 2-for-1 with Sellers, but that was really a nice run on the touchdown run. So we've got 2:50 left, 14-14 our score. Mount Pleasant going to be kicking off. Now, Tigers got the opening kickoff, so that means that the Comets will get the second half kickoff, so if they can get something quick here. They've got 3 timeouts. Mount Pleasant has 2 in their pocket, but right now they're interested in getting a stop before we go to half. 14-14 our score, and back to James Red Melick with the call here.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. I love it when you take over for a few minutes. I do a lot of talking. Gives the vocal cords a little bit of a rest. That's always nice.
Oh, you know I talk a lot.
We both like to talk.
I got bad grades in elementary school for conduct, and every time it was like he talks too much.
I think I got a few of those when I was in school too, but we won't tell
anybody
that.
I got a D one time for conduct.
As they're going to kick this one directional, it's going to be fielded and
dropped
off the hands at the 25. Dribble. But this time he jumps forward.
Dribble like that, he must play for Coach Walker during the wintertime.
He must.
He got a little through the hands, bounced up, caught it.
And the man that was Nathan Helms. He's had trouble holding on to the ball a little bit tonight anyways there, Mark. And yet again had a little bit more trouble there. But he was able to get that one back, and he got positive yards after fielding it to 25. He gets it up to the 34, so we'll pick up a 9 on that return from Helms. 2:45 left here, first half, 14-14 to score. Comets working right to left. They do get the ball to start the second half, trying to 2-for-1 it. There's the snap. They hand it off to the ball carrier there of Little. Little finds a seam up the middle, and he fights forward up to the 41.
Yeah, we have the advantage of seeing the high shot of the field. If he'd moved to his left just a little bit, he might have been running down the sideline. If he could have got out to the numbers.
They'd have been chasing him for sure if he would have got out to the numbers. And it's definitely different, Mark. As you said, we got the advantage up high. When you're down lower, it's hard to see all that. You get that bird's eye view above. You see a lot more from up here than what you can see from down on the field. They'll line up 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. They hand this one off to the ball carrier, goes up the middle there of Allsbrook, and Allsbrook gets it out, and he has enough for the first down all the way up to the 48-yard line.
You ever see the Saturday Night Live skit where they, I think Andy Samberg's like a Make-A-Wish kid, and he's going to be in the booth, and they told him this would be a good thing for you to call That'll Move the Chains. And Andy Samberg continually goes, that'll move the chains. That'll move the chains.
I definitely have seen that one. That one's a good one. First down and 10, ball thrown, 48. They shift the wing back from left to right, a receiver left, 2 to the right. They hand this one off to the ball carrier of Lilly. Lilly works left side across the numbers and dragged down from behind, but all the way up at the Tigers' 36.
Well-blocked play, and Lilly just ran through Tigers.
A tackle made there by Aiden Smith as he was able to jump down, grab those ankles, and drag him down. But the Tigers with 1:41 left here, and do we have a flag on the field that I missed?
Oh, let's see what they're going to call.
I don't see the flag, but I think that's going to back them up because I think there's a flag
They're calling
here.
false start, so that play must not have even counted.
Yeah, I didn't see the flag.
Coach Little's not happy. Arms crossed, walking out toward the official.
They do call the false start, but I don't see the flag out there on the field.
I didn't. Everybody was playing.
Yeah, they all played hard, played through it, and I didn't see the flag tossed. But all in all, it doesn't matter if we saw it or didn't. The officials did. That backs them up 5 yards. So that play does not count with 1:41 left here first half. They'll line up trips, bunch to the right, one out to the left. There's the snap, set to throw, throws it into the flat, going to be caught far right side. Makes a man miss, stays on his feet, but hit across midfield and dragged down.
Likely coming back. It may be an illegal block or a hold.
Nathan Helms with the catch. His first catch of the day there as he bobbled a few.
Going to be a holding penalty, so that'll push it back 10 yards.
And that's common on a play like that there, Mark. You set up that little receiver screen like we talked about earlier in the game, and then somebody either A, sets that block up a little earlier and has to hold his man because he doesn't let him shed, or you just grab a handful of jersey and just say, hey,
but the other thing is that guy's not always right up on you, and if he's running, sometimes a tendency to reach out and grab.
Yep. So that backs them up and makes it a second down and about 20 here.
The clock ticking away here with 1:10 left, and
almost in midfield. Now they're back at their own 37. There is the snap to Shaver. Shaver set to throw. He unleashes one down the middle of the field, and that one's going to fall incomplete as he was trying to get it to McCoy.
Ethan Dempsey had good position and had the best shot at that ball. He was almost running the pattern for the receiver, and that's just a deep post.
And I like the call there, a no flag, is that one was tossed over the head. And there was a lot of white jerseys back there, like you said. The safety was back deep, and Ethan Dempsey was back there as well.
Well, I think the receiver also initiated the contact, too. So if you call something there, you get the receiver rather than the defensive back.
Agreed. 1:01 left here. Shaver set to throw it. Instead, he hands
Knocked
off.
it
And that
loose.
one popped out. The Tigers scoop it up. They're working down the near sideline here at the 10. Across the numbers and streaking in there again is Ethan Dempsey. And the Tigers punch another one in.
Wow. Let's call it, I'm going to say 35 yards on the, somebody knocked it loose. We did not see who did it, but just like that, the Tigers have taken the lead for the first time tonight.
And that's a huge score with 50 seconds left here as the Tigers punch one in. And that's even bigger considering the Comets get the ball to start the second half, and they were trying to go a 2-for-1 there to bust this game open. And now the Tigers look like they might take the lead to halftime here.
50.7 seconds left.
We await the extra point here from the kicker, Braden Sellers.
And if you're North Stanly, what makes that even worse, you're trying to do a safe play. You don't want to turn the ball over. You're running the ball off tackle, and somebody swings around from behind and punches it out from behind. It's going to be a 5 or 6 yard gain. You think a safe play, and the ball gets maybe just a little bit off the side of the body. You don't get it high and tight, and somebody gets a hold of it.
And once it popped out, Ethan Dempsey got a gift, and he took off with it with his athleticism, streaking it back to the house for the Tigers as we await the extra point here. There's the snap, the place, and flags fly on the far side of the field.
Whistles and flags, and
there's a whole bunch
manner of waving and motioning. And
whole bunch going on out there. It's going to back them up a couple
that's
of yards.
half the distance to goal. Tigers look like they're going to still kick.
Yep, that's going to move them forward about the width of a football there. So Sellers will line up, and now Coach Crosby.
Well, he got a timeout. He's going to go for 2.
Yeah,
I'm a little surprised that initially that wasn't a call, but you got 2 timeouts, 50 seconds.
No, I think he's only got one left.
Well, you got one now, but you just called that one too.
I think that was his last, wasn't it? Didn't he call one?
No,
early?
It looks like. Well, no, they're showing.
That was his last one, I thought. Because
Okay.
he called one early.
Yeah, I was just going by what was on the scoreboard there.
No, you're good. They just a little behind on us there, Mark. Just a little bit.
Hey, I like this. You got half the distance, so you got, what, a yard and a half to go.
I think you got it twice there maybe because they called it. Remember, they went to kick it and they stopped it.
Yeah.
And then they just threw the flag there.
Oh, did they?
And
Okay.
stopped it, so they may have got it twice, but the ball spotted. It looks like maybe the 1-1, maybe the half-yard line. I can't really tell. from our vantage
See
point.
if they bring that full house with the quarterback.
Let's see how they
You could do that. They've got a triangle with a quarterback or running back in the middle.
And if you don't get it here,
or you can just motion it. Let's say I think they're going to go jumbo. Looks like.
And if they don't get it here, they'll have to go for it again in the second half. You have to think they will, and they are going to line up jumbo as you said there, Mark.
Same formation. You got full house left with a quarterback shotgun right.
Looks like Regal is the carrier. Regal fights, runs, and he's in there for
Touchdown.
the 2-point conversion.
Or 2-point.
So, again, the Tigers strike after the penalty from the Comets, able to get in there for the 2-point conversion. They make this one 22-14 here at R.N. Jeffries Stadium, and so far it has been Mount Pleasant. It started off with a bang there and looked like it was going to be all Comets.
the last drive was really, really tough for North Stanly. They had one really good run call back on a procedure penalty. They had a holding penalty. And so they're trying to play it safe. They've let the clock run down. And then you have a running back running hard for 5 or 6 yards. It looks like he's going to get 5 or 6 yards. Gets the ball a little bit away from his body. It's punched away. It turns into a score. And that's just how quickly things can go from a really good situation to a less than optimal.
Yes, agreed. And so far, guess what, Mark? We've seen a touchdown on both sides with their defense.
Oh, yeah. Both teams have a defensive score.
And the scoop and score. So both teams here with the defensive score in this ball game. The score 22-14 with 50 seconds left. The Tigers set to kick this one left to right, back to the Comets here. As they trot up there, and a directional short kick that'll be fair caught at the 35. And that's where the Comets will take over, as that one was caught there from Maddox Lunder, the linebacker.
Now, we saw Schaefer throw the ball downfield a couple times. Do you think he wants to try that, just see if he can air it out, or if you're going to just take a knee and take it into the half?
I think you take a couple of shots deep. You know Coach Crosby doesn't have any timeouts. So if you take a couple of shots deep here and it stops the clock, you can at least take a knee on third down, get the clock running, then just scramble around, throw it on fourth, and head to the locker room. So if it's me and I'm on the coach side, I'm Coach Little on the sideline, I'm taking a couple shots deep here.
They've also seen on film what the Mount Pleasant defensive backs can do deep.
And they come short here across the middle, going to be caught by McCoy. McCoy's going to be hit at the 40 and be shoved out of bounds, and that'll stop the clock with 43 seconds. Forward progress stop at the 41. And
is that your man 23, Owen Deaton?
I think that's Deaton, yeah. We apologize, folks.
I tell you what, I can't emphasize enough how bad I hate the Mount Pleasant numbers.
It's tough to read. There is the snap to Shaver. Shaver sets his feet, now rolls right. He's still rolling. Now he'll throw into the flat. Going to be caught by Helms, and Helms will run out of bounds inside of Tiger territory at the 49 on the far side of the field. And a nice little...
Tigers need to be careful over there. That was close to a little extra shove after he got out of bounds.
And that was just a little 10 yards up and out, and Shaver burned one in there.
Now you're out in the territory where you can take a shot or two down the field.
And
they've got all 3 timeouts left, so...
Yep. Comets all 3 timeouts. Ball at the Tiger 49 working right to left. Shaver set to throw. Works near side. Goes to McCoy right here at the left hash. McCoy makes one miss and fights forward, and he's going to be brought down.
Maybe coming back. There's a flag near the line of scrimmage.
And he's brought down up at the 26. But like you said, flag back here at the line of scrimmage for the Comets.
Flag came out late, too. I'm a little surprised at that.
Side judge talking to Coach
Maybe
Little.
A sideline warning. If it's a sideline warning, the play will stand.
Yep. See what the side judge gives to the white hat here. 30 seconds left here in the first half.
Tigers playing really deep on defense, and they allow those throws underneath. And you know what they say, prevent defense does, it prevents you from winning.
Yeah, it can be very tough for sure.
Well, of course you've seen a lot of throws, and it's not
an illegal man downfield there for the Comets is what they said. So an ineligible man down the field is going to back them up 5 yards, move the ball all the way back.
Coach Little's not happy. He's still talking to the white hat from a distance.
And
they're going to have an official timeout to have a conversation. They threw the flag right at the line of scrimmage.
And he wants
No, right at the line of scrimmage.
And he's bringing in the other official as well to talk to Coach Little. Well, while we got a timeout here, I'm going to see if
got a score coming in on our Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard. J.M. Robinson 20, Northwest Cabarrus 10, and that 10 points I think is the most that J.M. Robinson's given up all season.
Yeah.
Have they given up more than?
I think 8 was the most they gave up.
Yeah.
So 10, I agree with you. That is the most points they've given up all season. Is Coach Little got the explanation? Maybe not the one he wanted, but he got one as he heads back towards his sideline with 30 seconds left here. The team facing a first down in about, call it 16.
Concord Spiders playing at West Rowan tonight. Haven't seen the score coming in on that one yet.
We'll have to find one.
They're trying to bounce back after a tough loss last week to Northwest Cabarrus.
So they'll put 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, wing back left. Shaver sets his feet, set to throw, middle of the field. Got a guy going to Helms, and Helms can't hold on to it. As that was off the hands of Helms, but it was a dangerous throw there from Shaver as he tried to throw that in between 3 defenders.
It was, but the Mount Pleasant players weren't running. They were stationary, and you got sometimes you worry about that guy who's running and you're kind of set and you're not got your feet moving, that if he catches that ball, he may be in the end zone.
And we saw that one of the games we saw with Dempsey. Dempsey caught that ball. The receiver was standing there flat-footed. Dempsey made one cut to his right, and he was in the end zone from about 68 yards out.
So you got to keep moving, got to keep your feet moving.
They shift Grambling in motion from left to right. Shaver gets pressure, rolls left, and he's going to toss this one out into the flat to the 45.
Well,
but that might be grounding there. Here was no receiver.
It's either grounding or roughing. Let's see.
So there was
nobody there, and he wasn't outside the pocket.
And he didn't make it to the line of scrimmage either. He needed the 46
personal
for the
foul,
line.
roughing the quarterback, though. They're going to call roughing.
So that's going to give him a first down there.
15-yard penalty. Well, I say it's going to be a first down, but no, we saw last week. Of course, this is 2nd and 15, so it would be a first down.
So they'll move it up, and enough for the first down, and that'll move the chains here. They're going to say he's what are they going to say? He's about a foot short?
No, they're going to move the chains because you had a 5-yard penalty for ineligible receiver downfield.
Yep, would have made it.
So that should be 15 if they marked it right.
That is correct, and that's exactly the spot. It looked like they were marking him short, not moving the chains, but that's a big help for the Comets with the ball now up to the Tigers' 39. Shaver set to throw, looks near side, comes towards us, and that's going to be caught as he gets 1 foot down. It's Gavin Helms.
Well, he just was able to – the ball was just a little bit of a bobble. If we were in college football or the NFL, they'd be replaying it 53 times.
Just to make sure he caught it.
Yeah. College football, we'd have to go to 5 commercials. 5
commercials. We bring in the experts. We bring in everybody. Did he catch it? Did he not?
Yeah, what did you see? They've had so many replays now that they have to bring in an official to all of the broadcasts just to clarify.
They shift Grambling in motion from right to left out of the slot. Shaver rolls to his right. Still rolling. Now he's going to sling it. Helms makes the catch on the far side with 1.8.
Yeah. I was going to say this may be the last play, but he's able to get out of bounds. And, of course, you've got North Stanly clock operator, so he's going to make sure that when he sees that arm start to wave, he's going to stop it.
He is on it. That one, Nathan Helms with the catch. Nathan Helms, the sophomore, Gavin Helms, the senior. You have to think those two are related.
Elijah Bryant's checked in as one of the running backs, and they're lining up for a field goal.
They're going to line up to kick it here, and the kicker is lining up.
That's Noah Carter. Carter looked really good on the extra points.
Carter kicking it.
And now they've got one man late. They've still got plenty of time.
No reason to rush.
The play clock just now started. Now he's going to run off.
Going to be kicking where's he spotted at? The 26, so it's going to be a 36.
I think they're going to call timeout. Just, hey, make sure we know what we're doing. That's a good timeout. You got 3. You can't carry them over, but
no.
A lot of confusion there. You saw 3 players run on late. One of them run back off, and you want to make sure that that one man that ran off, there was not an empty hole out there where somebody's going to run through, block it, and take it the other direction. It'll last 1.8.
Exactly, especially if you're kicking a 37-yarder. It's what they were lined up at, 37-36.
It's going to be a right to left angle.
Yep, kicking it from the right
with
hash.
Those wide hash marks in high school football. You got it's not like those nice narrow hash marks in the pros where you're kicking the ball straight down the middle.
So we'll see if this kicker here can bury this one.
Now the quarterback Schaefer is the holder. So if if there's any kind of fake or trickery, you do have the quarterback back there handling the ball.
You hear the far crowd of the Tigers screaming and yelling as loud as they can on the far side of the field. I can hear it in my headset for sure as they're trying to get into the hand.
They've got those construction neon colors
There's
waving.
The snap, the place, the kick, and it's blocked. They're able to get to it and block it and wave. I can't see who that is who got over there to it, but I know a Tiger got to it and knocked it down, and we're going to head to half with the score 22-14 mark and another big play on defense for the Tigers.
Yeah, defense wins games, and right now both teams have had some big defensive plays. The offenses have kind of sputtered and not been top of their game, but a lot of points for a defensive struggle, 22-14 here at the half.
We're going to step aside for a few moments. We're going to come back here with our Ben Minot Shop, Click, and Drive halftime show. We'll have some updates on our Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard. We're live from the R.N. Jeffrey Stadium, home of the Comets. And the score, 22-14. Mount Pleasant Tigers on top of the North Stanly Comets in this 1A, 2A Yadkin Valley Conference.
Once upon a time is right now. Escape to the Renaissance Festival, a time-traveling adventure. Huzzah! Saturdays and Sundays, now through November 24th. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com. Save your dates while supplies last. Too jolly good.
You'll love the Renaissance Festival.
There's music, comedy, circus entertainments, a giant crafts market, jousting nights, the living mermaids, and a feast all rolled into a non-stop outdoor family adventure. Presented by Pepsi. Sponsored by Hedis Tita. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com. Save your dates while supplies last. Renaissance Festival, here I come.
Cakes and cookies, toys and gifts.
It's the shopping event of the season, the Southern Christmas Show, November 14th through 24th at the Park Expo and Conference Center. Celebrate the 12 days of Christmas, a countdown of Yuletide cheer brimming with festive decor and seasonal magic. Buy tickets early and save at southernChristmasShow.com. Online tickets courtesy of Kraft Body Scan.
Let's go to the Southern Christmas Show.
Once upon a time is right now. Escape to the Renaissance Festival, a time-traveling adventure. Huzzah! Saturdays and Sundays, now through November 24th. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com. Save your dates while supplies last. Too jolly good.
You'll love the Renaissance Festival.
There's music, comedy, circus entertainments, a giant crafts market, jousting nights, the living mermaids, and a feast all rolled into a non-stop outdoor family adventure. Presented by Pepsi. Sponsored by Hedis Tita. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com. Save your dates while supplies last. Renaissance Festival, here I come.
Cakes and cookies, toys and gifts.
It's the shopping event of the season, the Southern Christmas Show, November 14th through 24th at the Park Expo and Conference Center. Celebrate the 12 days of Christmas, a countdown of Yuletide cheer brimming with festive decor and seasonal magic. Buy tickets early and save at southernChristmasShow.com. Online tickets courtesy of Kraft Body Scan.
Let's go to the Southern Christmas Show.
Welcome back to the R.N. Jeffrey Stadium, North Stanly High School here near New London, North Carolina. Mark Plemmons along with James Red Melick bringing you the action here as the Tigers lead 22-14 over the North Stanly Comets. Two rivals here in the Yadkin Valley Conference. And this is our BenMinot.com halftime report. Shop, click, and drive. BenMinot.com. It's really easy, y'all. You got to do pick and click your vehicle. You can arrange financing online. You can arrange a test drive, or you can just have that car delivered right out to your house. Don't even have to leave the house. BenMinot.com. Shop, click, and drive.
They make it so easy to get a new vehicle, folks. I know this to be very true. My roommate recently just purchased a vehicle. He did exactly as you said. He went online. He found the vehicle he wanted. They brought the vehicle to our house. They picked up his old vehicle, brought it back, or brought him the new one and took the old vehicle with him. It's that easy. They'll take it away from you. He never even left the house, didn't even want to test drive it because he knew that was the vehicle he wanted.
We can do that.
So shop, click, and drive at BenMinot.com. It is awesome. And the score here is 22-14 at halftime in this matchup. And Mark, it really kind of, I want to say it was kind of a tale of two tapes there. It started off early with the Comets coming out and getting that first strike of the game with that pick six, taking it back to the house. And then they kind of traded blows a little bit, back and forth. And then all of a sudden, it just kind of seemed like momentum might have shifted to the far side of the field with the Tigers as they were able to get 2 scores.
And I would say the big thing that happened in the last 5 minutes of the second quarter, the penalty bugaboo hits North Stanly. They get and plus they turned it over.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of turnovers lead to touchdowns. A couple of penalties put you, instead of in scoring territory inside the Tiger 30-yard line, you're back out beyond the 50-yard line. And then you commit a penalty. You say, okay, we're going to be safe. We run a handoff. Running back gets the ball a little bit away from his body, gets knocked away, scoop and score. Then you have the penalty bugaboo on the extra point, which cost you a point.
Yeah.
You got to feel like, because offside, half the distance twice. The Tigers just lined it up and just smashed it into the end zone for 2.
Yeah, and they ran that play earlier, and they got about 15 out of it when they ran that power formation.
Yeah, with
jumbo.
got the quarterback and shotgun, and you put it's like the Dallas Cowboys used to run back in the old days with Danny White when they would run, just get on the goal line, Robert Newhouse and that crowd, and they would put 3 backs, just old style football, 3 backs side by side by side. The difference is the shotgun. They put the quarterback in the shotgun. He's a yard behind, and they can set those 3 backs up on either side if they want to run. Tigers like to run to that left side. I guess one of the tackles and guards over there is probably one of their better blockers. So you put 3 blockers behind them. You can't stop us. That's what you're saying to the other team. They line up. The quarterback just powers right behind those 3 running backs and the tackle and the tight end and the guard on the left side.
And don't be shocked, though, with the way that Crosby has lined that up on the far side of the field. He's using Jacob Riegel at that position. He's lining him up at the quarterback, getting the direct snap there in that spot with that jumbo package when they run left. We've seen Jacob Riegel play quarterback, so don't be surprised if later in this game, if he needs that trick where they line up like that and they maybe try to pull a tight end out into the flat, or they have Riegel dump it off to Dempsey or something like that. So it's been executed twice. Great running it on the ground with Riegel, but don't be surprised if you see Coach Crosby kind of maybe shake things up here if he needs it late in this game.
Now,
right now,
of course, if you're North Stanly, you get the ball back. You're only down a touchdown.
Yep.
You go. Coach Little has said, "Hey, listen, do what we do. Let's get a good drive out of the second half. We can make some adjustments." Mount Pleasant hasn't really gashed them that bad offensively. They made some good plays. They've just got to make a couple of adjustments. Mount Pleasant's been fairly conservative on offense. They've got a whole lot more than they're showing, and I don't think they want to pull that out unless they have to. They would rather try to power up against you and then save something for later.
Yeah, try to save a little bit of that, like you said, for maybe the playoff time, for stuff when teams haven't seen you quite as much or when you need it in a big, tight game. Tonight, leading by 8 here at R.N. Jeffrey Stadium are the Tigers. The Tigers on the season, we look at their record real quick, 7-1, 3-0 in conference. They're ranked 136th in the state, 18th in their class. North Stanly, 163rd in the state, 26th in their class. We'll go ahead and tell you the last 2 games, or the last game for each of these teams real quick while we're here. Mount Pleasant on the road next week against Robinson on 11-1. Robinson 8-0 in action tonight against Northwest. And then for North Stanly, they're on the road at Albemarle, who is 2-6 on the year. So final home game for North Stanly unless they're able to find a way to win this one and then win next week against Albemarle. But you have to think that if they lose this one and fall down to 5-4 and then win against Albemarle and go 6-4, they'll sneak into the playoffs. They're going to have a tough matchup in that first round, though.
Yeah. You don't get as good a matchup as you do if you come in as a conference champion or even a second place in the champions.
Yeah, depending on where you draw, you could wind up getting, because this is 2A, you could wind up drawing maybe a Salisbury or somebody like that in the first round, and we know what Salisbury looks like, or even a Statesville.
Let's go to our Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard. Got a few more scores to update you on. Got a good one between Cox Mill and Hickory Ridge. Cox Mill 21, Hickory Ridge 14. Also Weddington 26, Cuthbertson nothing. You got, is that gone to the end of the third quarter?
End of the third.
20-10, J.M. Robinson over Northwest Cabarrus. So that was, it might be the first game all season that J.M. Robinson doesn't score 40 points.
Yeah, and Coach Seidel's having to probably work a little bit harder on that sideline, keeping all that together as well. And did you update the West Rowan Concord game?
I haven't. No, I have not. Have you got a score for that one?
I got one here. The update on that one I have is West Rowan 21, Concord nothing in that one. So looks like it's all West Rowan in that matchup as well.
I won't be commenting on the stat email tonight.
We'll keep that one. We'll keep that one in. A couple more updates real quick. Porter Ridge all in control over RS Central. That one 42-10. Weddington all in control against Cumberson 26-0. Cox Mill only leads Hickory Ridge by 14, 21-14 in that one. Audrey Kell Olympic late third quarter 13-7. Audrey Kell leads that one.
Well, these two teams getting coached up. They hadn't come back out yet. We got still 4 minutes on the clock, and of course they always put that 3 minutes on later on to get it going for the warm-ups. Don't forget we've got high school football that'll be coming up over the next couple of weeks, so we'll take you right into the playoffs tonight. John Von Cannon and Chris Hudson are over at Northwest Cabarrus, so that's a good spot for them tonight. I understand that one is also part of the high school rivalries series, so they've got a special crew out there calling that one on the NFHS Network. And again, John's broadcast, if you want to hear the end of that game, they've gone to the fourth quarter, a 10-point game from Northwest. We're broadcasting tonight on the Radio Free Cabarrus Facebook page. Of course, this game on our YouTube channel. We appreciate all you folks. And as everybody on YouTube always tells you, be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, hit all those things. I'm not much of an influencer or anything, so that's what they always seem to say is hit that subscribe and like button.
Yeah, hit that button, mash it, hit it, come join us. We do more than just football too, folks.
Yep.
We do baseball, we do basketball,
softball, and
everything. You'll hear us in the summer.
We'll tell a joke or two.
Might even tell a lie or two.
We'll tell a lie or two as well. There's no question there will be a lie told somewhere. We'll make somebody mad at some point as well.
We might do that too. But we'll definitely have fun doing it. So we love having you guys here with us on the broadcast. About 3 minutes until the teams get out here. Then there's the mandatory 3-minute warm-up here, Mark, to get the second half underway. So
I see some of the Tiger students out here in their road work vests. I'm guessing that was the highway work theme.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that was it.
We were somewhere one year, and they had that road workers theme for the student section, and somebody had a road construction sign. I guess they had lifted it somewhere off of one of the streets in Cabarrus County.
That is funny. That is funny. Well, if you're looking for something to do tomorrow, I know what I'm doing in the morning, Mark.
What's that?
I'm just promoting another thing real quick. I'm sorry. I got to do it.
Yeah, go ahead. Promote.
I'm from Indiana. And you know where game day is, right? They're in Bloomington.
Oh, are they? After they won last week against they just tore up Matt Rule.
They did. They tore them up. They got Washington this week in Bloomington. And I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty excited about it. You have Pat McAfee there, who's not from Indianapolis originally, but he played for the Colts. Going down to Bloomington at home, he's a huge fan of people in Indiana. So I bet you game day is going to be very entertaining.
It should be, and of course they always kick for somebody for some scholarship money.
Yes, they do, and that's been fun to watch too. He's gave away $100,000 twice this year.
Well, I'm sure he's got sponsors that cover all that. It ain't coming out of Pat's pocket.
No, there's somebody who's covering that one for sure. But they've given away $100,000 so far to kickers this year. Is 2 kids. One kid missed on the first attempt. He said, if you hit it on the second one, I'll give you $100. And he hit it. And then the next week, the same thing happened. The kid buried it. He gave away $200,000 in scholarships to some athletes.
Well, the one guy, Nick Saban, I think mishandled the hold. He looked like he was a little uncomfortable in that suit, getting down on his knee, and he kicked it. He kind of hooked it out to the left. The next one, he split the uprights.
That was the week that Kirk Kirkstry had to leave early to go catch a plane to get a 4-hour flight to the game that was kicking off at 3:30. So he had to leave game day just a little bit early to be able to make kickoff there. About a minute left for the players to come out.
The oldest rivalry in the South playing tomorrow in Charlottesville, North Carolina and Virginia.
That's going to be.
It's on the CW, not our friends at WBT. They got it on the CW. I can't even get that on my streaming package. I have to put the antenna up to get the CW.
Really, you have to get.
Yeah. I don't know why. I've got the old FUBU.
FUBU. I don't know exactly what I got to get.
But I can get the Hornets. And to get the Hurricanes, I don't have to buy that $29 a month package that FanDuel is selling.
See, I can't get the Hornets and I can't get the Hurricane, but I can get the Tar Heels there on the CW because I'm more up towards the Triad.
Yeah.
And we have the Triad CW, and I'm able to catch the Tar Heels in action.
Well, it's on the over the air, so I just put the
antennas up. Say, I catch that, and I also get to watch the Wake Forest games when they play on there as well.
You're not far from Wake Forest, are you?
I'm not. Wake Forest is about 15 minutes from my house, so I can be over there at the football field or the Lawrence Joel Coliseum where they play basketball. I've been to all of them. I went over there and watched probably 3 football games at their football field.
You been to Bowman Gray?
I've been to Bowman Gray, and it is a madhouse. It is. People is described as a madhouse. It is. It is a madhouse. It is fun. You will see some stuff. That'll be very surprising to you.
I bet you don't see anything like you see at East Lincoln. East Lincoln Speedway.
I haven't been to that.
Have you ever been to East Lincoln Speedway?
That's a dirt track, isn't it?
Dirt track.
Yeah. I've not been there, but I hear they put on a show too. There in Gaffney.
Oh, there's Cherokee Speedway in Gaffney. Maybe more interesting. I will say more interesting than East Lincoln Speedway.
They're fun. They're fun racetracks to go to. And
of course, most of the action is not on the track.
No, it's off.
It's in the pits and it's out in the stands and
people ready to fight.
It's at the gates.
There's people. You go to the short tracks and there's people ready to go. But it's fun and it's entertaining to go watch the racing they put on too, because it's fun and entertaining to watch as well.
So you guys have had a big week up at Colleague Racing, haven't you?
We did. We had a huge week. We made it through the round of 8 at the Roval. We were able to sneak A.J. Allmendinger through. And with A.J. sneaking in and getting in, he was about 14 points back heading into the first race of the round of 8 in Vegas. He ends up winning the Vegas race, and when you win in the round of 8, you automatically punch your ticket to head to the Final 4 in Phoenix, which would be 2 weeks, would be 3 weeks, but you have 2 more races in between there, which is Homestead this weekend, Martinsville the following weekend, then you head to Phoenix, and we have punched our ticket and have a shot to go run for the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship this year. We'll be one of 4 teams.
You guys looking for some hardware, right?
We are trying to put something on the hand.
Put something on the hand?
We want to do what all these men are out here trying to do, men and women are out here trying to do. We're trying to put some hardware on the hand and go win ourselves a championship. And
I've got a Conference USA tournament and regular season championship ring.
They're nice.
It's so big I can only wear it once in a while. My arms get tired.
They're nice to have, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
They are beautiful pieces of art, and they are fun to have and collect and have in your collection. And we're all fired up and excited over at Colleague Racing, and hopefully we can come home with one this year. That's our plan. As we look at the clock, about 45 seconds left here before we kick off as the players from both teams head back out onto the field. The score here is 22-14 as you've been listening to the Ben Minot Shop Click and Drive halftime show. Remember, it's that easy, folks. You go to benminot.com, find your vehicle, arrange financing, have it delivered to your house. benminot.com.
Of course, we got the Carolina Renaissance Festival well underway on the Cabarrus-Mecklenburg County line over there in Huntersville.
I drove right by there the other day. I had to go down to Concord, to Cornelius, to go do something for somebody on the race team, and I drove right by the Carolina Renaissance Festival. Let me tell you something, folks. When you're going down Highway 73 there, I think that's what that is, isn't it, 73?
Yeah, 73.
When you're going down 73, they have signs up now that help you get there even easier than it used to be in the past. Just follow the signs, and they'll get you right where you need to go.
Absolutely. Well, kickoff coming for the Tigers, leading 22-14. Don't forget, football Friday night, WBTV going to have all the highlights here on all the games.
They're here in the house, standing right beside us here this evening as they're shooting footage here from R.N. Jeffrey Stadium. The Tigers set to kick this one off from left to right. The Comets to receive, opening half, second half kickoff. And they got 12 minutes on the clock, and here is the kick. It's a short directional kick that'll be fielded, and a knee touches the ground at around the 38-yard line. That one caught on the far side of the field by Noah Carter. That's actually the kicker who makes the catch.
Yeah,
there.
he's the backup quarterback, and Carter gives the fair catch signal. Going to be good field position for North Stanley to start out. 38-yard line?
38-yard line. So
now, we've seen both defenses score, so it doesn't mean that team with the ball is the team that's going to score next.
Anybody can score now. As we come out here, working right to left, ball spotted right hash. Two receivers left, one to the right. Shaver gets it, hands it off to the back of Lilly. Lilly up the middle. He runs into a pile, and he is going to lose a yard there as he ran into a whole cage full of Tigers.
Yeah, the Tigers just snarling a little bit there on that defensive line.
And I'm sure Coach Crosby got him fired up there at halftime, telling him, hey, we're leading this game. Stand strong up front, because so far Lilly has been able to do a lot of running through the middle and make something happen. But we see there on that first run, they stack him up. They put trips left, one right, ball spotted middle of the field. They toss it to Lilly, who comes near side this time, tries to get to the numbers, and he's going to lose more yardage as he's back at the 35 now.
Ethan Dempsey coming up from his cornerback position on run support. A good block on that little toss sweep. Justice Grambling cut his man down, but nobody accounted for the cornerback coming up on the play the pitch.
Now the ball worked off the left hash, so close to us now, but backed up to the 35. They put two receivers wide side of the field, two receivers short side of the field. Shaver sets his feet, looks towards his right, now rolls right, set to throw. Going to be caught by Helms, and he'll be right at the original line of scrimmage up at the 38 gap. That's Nathan Helms with the catch.
Yeah, pressure was coming, so he had to scramble to buy some more time. It didn't look like he was real comfortable throwing deep on the run, and just got the little check down.
As Carter
looked like Bryce Young.
It did. It looked like Bryce Young. Speaking of Bryce Young, getting the start this week for the Panthers after the injury to Andy Dalton. Glad to hear his family and himself is okay after the car incident they had there in Charlotte. Glad to hear he is safe as Carter set to kick this one away from his own 39. Back deep to receive is Dempsey. Carter hits a spiral one that's going to go towards the sideline and bounce and take a bounce for the Comets, and they'll pick it up and stop it around the, what is that, the 27?
Yeah, it looks like 27-yard line. They did not want to kick to Dempsey, so they shoot a little line drive kick over toward the sideline and hope for a little bit of a roll.
And I think that's a smart decision. Like you said, Dempsey, a really good athlete.
Fleet of foot.
We've watched him go 98 yards to the house.
We did
on
the
return.
bobbled kickoff 3-4 weeks ago down at Tiger Town.
He got 2 blocks, and he took it to the house.
Big possession here. Tigers punch one in. North Stanley has not shown a lot of offensive firepower.
They split the receivers and run it with Regal. Sorry to cut you off.
No, absolutely. Got live action there. You call the play. Shut the color man up.
Is they run that one?
Yeah, I always talk too much. Right?
No, I don't. I'll let you talk. I don't have no problem with it.
No, this is a big opening possessions of the third quarter are often some of the biggest possessions of the game.
Ball 37 after the run there from Regal, and a pickup of 8 makes it a second down and 8. Working left to right, ball spotted left hash. They put 2 receivers left Now they shift a receiver from right to left and make him the wingback right. Shift a receiver out of the slot in the back. Hand it off to Smith, who came out of the wingback spot working left. He's got enough for the first down and moves it up to the 42.
Again,
43.
that play works almost every single time. They orbit Dempsey back behind the quarterback in motion. They hand it on the little counter to the wingback or the slot back, coming the opposite direction, going back in the direction of the motion. And we saw Regal earlier break containment and go down for 15-20. That time Smith was just a nice short gain, but it's all they needed to get the first down.
They made it a mouthful for the broadcasters. They line up trips again right, one to the left, wing back left. This time they fake the handoff to Dempsey. Black set to throw one up. It's going to be caught by Regal at the 35. And he falls forward, and he's brought down at the 34, and what a catch from Regal.
Caught him in a blitz, just got rid of the ball quick. If he does not get the ball off when he does, he's laying on the ground with a football in his hand.
And if that defender misses that shoestring tackle, Regal standing in pay dirt, and the Tigers increase this lead. We're under 9 left here, third quarter with 8:50 left. Ball spotted at the Comets, 34, working left to right, middle of the field. Put one receiver to the left, 2 to the right. They shift Regal in motion in front, hand it off to him. He works left, gets blockers in front, still running with the pile, and he's got enough for the first down as he moves the chains.
And you got big road graders up front like Mount Pleasant does, particularly on that left side of the line. And then a little trickeration, a little motion, you get people moving, and you get some of those defenders on roller skates.
Ball now moved up to the 23-yard line, left hash. And the Tigers moving the ball nice on this drive as the clock winds down to 8:15 here. They put 2 receivers to the right, a wing back to the left. There is the snap. They fake the handoff to Regal. Black throws. Going to be caught there in the middle of the towards the right hash. And it looks like, is that Dempsey with the catch?
I believe it is. Left arm with the sleeve, two pink socks.
That's him. I didn't catch the left arm at first when he made the catch, but I saw the socks, and that's why I was thinking it was Dempsey. He'll pick up about 5 there on first down and move it to the 15 and to the, the 17 and put him in the Pizza Hut red zone?
Absolutely. PizzaHut.com right now. Pizza, wings, Toscani pasta.
There is the snap to Black. He'll keep it himself, work left, and he'll pick up maybe a yard there as a host of Comets bring him down.
Yeah, they did a good job there making him kind of slow down. He can't hit the line hard and held everybody up.
So a third down and about 5 here for the Tigers. After this drive has moved them down the field pretty easily, but in between the 20s, it's a whole lot easier to move it than inside the 20s, and that's where they are right now, is inside the 20s.
Probably the Tigers' most efficient drive of the day so far.
Still plenty of time on the play clock. 13 seconds left. They'll come out with 2 receivers to the right, wing back to the left. Now he'll shift the running back who was to his right into the near side receiver. Now he shifts him in motion to Regal. Fakes the handoff to Regal. Throws into the flat. Man's wide open. Touchdown for the Tigers. It looks like it's number 84. Is that who that is, Mark?
24, I believe is what they said.
24, so that's Justin Kyle with the catch.
So that is a 17-yard touchdown?
17 yards. 17-yard touchdown for the Tigers with 6:43 from Black.
Well, you get the Tigers just kind of lull them into that run, and then you hard play fake. They run that orbiting motion again, so they had to respect that. They had to respect the motion man underneath. The tight end just slips down the field and scores.
And that's exactly what happened. He showed Block, able to get down the field, standing wide open, and he's able to get in there for an easy 6. As the extra point is good to make the score 29-14, 6:43 left here, third quarter. And right now, it is all Coach Crosby and the Tigers here at R.N. Jeffrey Stadium. Tigers trying to improve to 4-0 in conference and lock up the Yadkin Valley Conference Championship after last year having a shot to win it against North Stanly. Got walked up and down the field all game. It looked like North Stanly was then going to take the conference championship. But the following week, they go play Albemarle. Albemarle ends up beating them, and they decide they're going to take the championship. So it was a crazy year last year, but if the Tigers win this one, no question about it. They are your conference champions in the Yadkin Valley.
I didn't write it down, but I believe that's about a 67-yard drive or somewhere in that neighborhood.
That sounds about right. Is a directional kick. This one is going to be caught at about the 25, working all the way across the field. He sheds a block but gets popped at the 30 and rode out of bounds. And that's going to be Solomon Hudson with the return. I'll spot him at the 31 there.
Down 2 scores now. North Stanly needs something offensively.
And they're probably only going to touch the ball probably 3 times here, Mark. If Mount Pleasant can milk it like they usually do, you only touch it 3 more times. And if you only touch it 3 times, you need to score on this drive.
Yeah, Mount Pleasant can lean on you a little bit. That's kind of their mode. They pound you, and then a big play here and there.
They'll line up a receiver each direction here. They shift the wing back in motion. That's over the head of Shaver. Shaver picks it up. He's running to his right, looks to his right, throws it to Nathan Helms. He makes a man miss, spins, and fights forward, and he'll get it back out to the 27.
And that's all for a 3-yard loss.
For a 3-yard loss, yeah.
But what might have been, that could have been a turnover, yeah.
Yeah, and it probably would have been better if he just would have let that one
Heaved
fall
that one
incomplete.
out of bounds, yeah.
Heaved it out of bounds, or Helms would have just let it fall to the ground. It would have stopped the clock, and you would have not lost. They lost more than 3 there. I think they lost about 6. No, about 4.
It's pretty close to 5, I would get.
Yeah, that's a good bit of loss there.
We're looking at it at an angle here, just a little bit here.
Yeah, the ball's spotted at the 27. So they'll shift the receiver from the right in motion, 2 left, 1 right. There's the toss to the man who comes right. He's going to set to throw it. That's going to be Helms. Helms throws it, and the only person in sight was Dempsey as he throws that over the head, but a flag flies in from the back judge here in around the 40.
Maybe a hold on the defense.
Yeah, that was a late hold.
They're pointing back. Mount Pleasant is pointing back toward North Stanly, but where that's thrown, oftentimes that's a defensive hold.
And it is a hold against the Tigers there, Mark. That was a good call. I don't know who they got it on, but they got it. It could have been, 32 out there, 35, who's standing there talking to him? It's tough to see with those gold numbers on those white jerseys.
Yeah, to me they looked like gold blobs on the back of the white jerseys.
I don't want to call a name. I can't tell. But
Dempsey had turned into Willie Mays on that one. He looked like he was trying to be in the 54 World Series as he turns his back and trying to catch it over the shoulder, but
I'll tell you another one who he looked like here in a second after this play. They got trips left, 1 right. They toss this to McCoy. McCoy makes the catch here. Now with the numbers at the 40. Still trying to fight forward. And he'll be brought down at the 43-yard line. And a nice little catch there to move the chains for McCoy. And he also looked like my dog Blitz. When I go outside with him, I'll trick him. I'll fake like I'm throwing the ball, and he'll run. And while he's running, he raises his head back just like Dempsey did, looking for it like Willie Mays.
Say hey.
Say hey, it's Willie Mays. So a first down there for the Comets, moves the ball up to the 44, working left hash. They hand this one off to Allsbrook, who works, and he'll get it up to the 45 for a pickup of 1. But a host of Tigers there to stop that momentum. Clock winding down to 5 minutes left here in the third quarter. 29-14 your score so far. Tigers in control here in the second half. Able to get the stop on the Comets in that first series and force a punt. Then they drive down the field and are able to score on their first possession. Now trying to stop the Comets here. 2nd down and 9. They give the handoff to the ball carrier of Allsbrook, who works right up the middle there, gets it across midfield up to the Tigers' 48. Now a hard piece of running there from him as he went north to south, and he found a hole and busted through it, Mark.
Absolutely. Got up and down the field. From a Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard into third quarter, Cox Mill 31, Hickory Ridge 21.
You hate to hear that for Jupiter Wilson and the Hickory Ridge Raging Bulls trying to get that first win of the year. They'll line up 2 receivers each way. They'll hand it off again to the ball carrier, who's tripped up a Lily, and he's right at the line to gain.
Yeah, looks like they're going to give it to him.
And they are going to move the chains. A good call there, Mark, to move the chains. Clock stopped while they move the chains with 4:17 left here.
That'll move the chains.
That'll move the chains. Ball spotted at the Mount Pleasant 46. The Comets are working right to left on this drive. Ball spotted left hash. They line up 2 receivers each direction. They shift the slot man on the left side in motion. They toss it here near side on the numbers, and gathered up and brought down quick is, I think that's McCoy. Is that 6?
Let's see. I believe it's, I think you're right.
That's McCoy, yeah.
Good, strong hands, man. That ball looked like it was just like in his fingertips, and you could see Dempsey trying to tear it away, and McCoy able to hang on to it at the 40.
McCoy, leading receiver here for the team, averaging about 62 yards a game. All stats provided through Max Preps, just so everyone knows where they came from. They're going to line up 2 to the right, 1 to the left here, wing back to the right. They hand it off to the ball carrier who runs it up the middle of Lilly, and he'll get it inside the 40 up to the 38.
Yeah, got 3rd down, and it looks like maybe 2.5. You got 2 downs to get this.
And Lilly coming off here, kind of favoring one of his legs, it looked like, but he's fine. Sorry to cut you off there.
No, that's all right.
Now they bring in Allsbrook again to run it. The speed back, who we've seen have some big gaping runs so far today. He's going to line up behind Shaver. They're going to put trips right, 1 left. They do hand it off to Asbrook, who works it right, finds a seam, makes a man miss, still on his feet, and he'll get it down to the 25 and enough to move the chains.
Good blocking off the right side of the North Stanly line. Guys over on that side. Looks like Swindell's one of the guys up front, and I'm just trying to look and see who the tackle on that side is. Maybe 53.
2 left, 1 right. They run it this time to the right, and they'll get a couple of yards there as they put that one in the belly of Elijah Bryant, the senior running back. It's the first time we've called his name tonight as the running back, as they have 2:35 left here after the pickup of 2. Ball spotted now at the 23-yard line.
Spencer Jones is one of the guys they were running behind over there on that last 2 plays.
Again, they go back to the same ball carrier of Bryant. He works left this time, and he'll get it back to the line of scrimmage. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 7 here, Mark. And this is a do or die here. You're in 4-down territory. You're down 2 scores with 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. You don't need it all here, but you need positive yards.
Yeah, you need something.
They split the receivers 2 left, 2 right. They shift a man in motion there from the slot to the left. They got McCoy man on man. He beats his guy, makes the catch at the goal line, and he's in there for the touchdown as Dempsey can't bring him down. And a big answer for the Comets as they're able to punch one in from 23 yards out.
Big touchdown there to stay in the ball game. 1:30. Well, the clock's still running.
Yeah, the clock's still running there.
Oh, so did they not call that a touchdown?
Did they not?
But the clock's running.
Yeah, the clock's still running. They haven't. Now they stopped it.
They ran about 20 seconds or more on.
I was going to say about 14.
Yeah.
I think I looked up and it was about 40. There is the snap, the place, the kick. It is up, and
right.
It is no good. The score
got penetration. He hurried it. It flared off to the right.
29-20. The score, and that missed extra point is huge right there, Mark. If they would have hit that, it would have made it an 8-point ball game, and you could have had a shot to tie.
Yeah, still a one-score game. Now it's a 2-score game at 29-20.
So that penetration up front there from the Tigers causing that missed point as they do reset the play clock up to 1:40 there, Mark, after they didn't stop it there, and it got down to 1:26. So the time added back to the clock. The score 29-20 here at North Stanly. And Coach Chad Little out there talking to the side judge, asking for some questions, getting some explanations there. But the Tigers set to get this ball back. Estevez and they're not going to put Dempsey back.
Dempsey's not back there.
Looks like they're going to do Estevez, and I can't tell who that is.
Mount Pleasant had confusion in their secondary on that play. They had a man running from the left side of the field all the way to the right side of the field, like he was a motion man, but they were on defense and not following anybody. So there may have been really a different coverage planned, and they didn't get it. But a good job, McCoy turned Dempsey around and got a pretty easy score.
For sure. And I can't tell who the near guy is, but the far guy is Estevez. It will come to the near side and be fielded at the 10. He'll work it back to the middle of the field, get to the left hash. He finds a gap up the middle, puts a stiff arm out. Now across the numbers at the 50. He's streaking inside the 30, chased and grabbed from behind, but he's still on his feet, streaking, and into the touchdown go the Tigers. No flags on the play. See if we can catch a number for who that was. We couldn't see it.
I believe it's 22.
Think that's 22? So if it is 22, that's going to be Jackson Burris with the touchdown. Is that who you called on that? Was 22? Did you see 22? Who got that?
Yeah, I think a 90-yard kickoff return.
That will be a 90-yard kickoff return, and it was tough to see. We apologize, folks. It is tough to see the jersey numbers, white jerseys, gold numbers. But we believe it was Jackson Burris, but we know it wasn't Dempsey because he didn't have the pink socks.
You didn't have the pink socks and the pink sleeve.
But he had a pink sleeve on, the player who made that play. They say we think it might have been Jackson Burris there.
We're going to credit him that on my score sheet anyway.
There is the place, the snap, it's up, and it is good. The score, 36-20, and it only takes 15 seconds, and the Tigers come right back and make it a 16-point lead.
A full two-score game now. 2 touchdowns, 2 extra point, two-point conversions. And you've got a little more than a quarter to go.
What sprung him on that one there, Mark, was right here at the 40. He got a really good block, and he threw that stiff arm. And once he threw that stiff arm and got that really good block right here at his own 40, there was nobody that was going to touch him.
Well, you know, he jumped a tackler at the 15. He just looked like a high hurdler going over the tackler.
And he put on a show.
Well, I tell you, it shows you how dangerous the Tigers are. They've got some speed on some of those guys. You take your best player out, you put in one of the subs on the kick team, and he takes it to the house.
Yeah, you pulled out Dempsey, and we believe it was Burris. You put him in, and he shows you he can do it as well. We watched Dempsey go 98 yards, and we just watched Burris go 90. We watched Dempsey do it a couple weeks ago. Dempsey a couple weeks ago going 98. As we await the kickoff here. Tigers kicking left to right here. They have 3 guys that are really not back deep because they're waiting for a directional kick, and this would be a time to go deep.
Yeah, Sellers can kick
it deep. They do. They decided to go deep, and they're going to smash it. It's going to be caught, but the player falls as he makes the catch. He now gets up. It's going to be Grambling. He's going to take it down the left hash. He's going to make one man miss, spin on his feet still before being brought down at the 25, and that could have been disastrous as he caught that ball, fell, and then was able to get it back out to the 25 after falling at the 2 mark.
The fortunate thing is when he fell, he didn't catch the ball, that he dropped the ball. If he falls, he's down by contact because, you touch the ground, you're down in high school. You can't get back up. Ball was loose. He can get back up, then pick the ball up and go.
And he was able to still get 23 yards on that return after falling down, picking it up at his own 2.
And, of course, that extra yards going deep, that shows you why you don't like to get all scrambled out and extended on your defense like that or your cover team.
Pass to McCoy on the little jet sweep, and he'll get it to the 25. They'll give him the 26, so a pick up a 1 there on first down as they brought McCoy out of the left side slot and tried to run a little jet pass with him, and he'll pick up 1, move the ball to the 26-yard line here for a 2nd and 9. Clock under a minute here. Ball spotted on the right hash, working right to left of the Comets here in the 3rd quarter. There's the carry. They drop it in the belly of the back. That's going to be Lilly. He spins, still on his feet at the 30, fighting forward, and he'll get up to the 32. And a flag flies in as big number 70 throws one of the Tigers to the ground.
Swindell just planted him a little bit too late. We'll see who if it's going to be. Yeah, Swindell.
And he planted Flynn. That's who he planted. I think it was number 2, Flynn, who he planted there.
He's got a good 70, 80 pounds on him too.
Oh yeah, and he planted him at the 30 there. Just buried him into the ground. And
you got to when you pancake somebody, it's got to be before the whistle. After the whistle, you pancake him. It's a penalty.
Yep. And he pancaked him right there, and that's going to cost him 15.
It wipes out a good run too because Lilly. Yeah, to play, Swindell was 20 yards from the ball.
He wasn't close, for sure.
He's carrying out his fake.
Clock stop with 38 seconds here. Moves the ball all the way back to the Comets. What is that, the 17-yard line it looks like?
I believe you're right.
Needing a 35 for a first down, so a 3rd down and 17 here. There is the snap to Shaver. Shaver sets his feet, throws right, throws it towards Nathan Helms. He makes the catch at the 20. He gets hit.
That was close to a pick 6. You had an over/under coverage, and the man tried to jump the route, didn't get there quite in time.
And that's going to bring up a 4th down, and they don't need to run a play here, and they can talk about it if they want to. They're going to trot the punting unit out there as the clock winds down to 3, and now they should all just flip the field here and head to the 4th quarter.
Well, if Perry's listening tonight, Perry, they have to walk the entire length of the field. It wasn't quite the time we had going from the 2 to the 2, but they're going to go from about the 16 or 17 to the 16 or 17.
I think they're going from 20 to 20.
20 to 20, okay.
Yeah,
that's right. I forgot the pass play.
They're going 20 to 20 here. And, this is one of Perry's nightmares right here. He's going to have to jog the length of the field. But, hey.
60 yards.
60 of them.
They're going to move the ball 60 yards.
A nice, crisp, cool night here in North Carolina as we get ready to head to the 4th quarter. We're going to look on our Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard real quick, Mark, and see if we can find any updates.
Yeah, while you're looking, Cannon Pharmacy, home of free delivery. You can get all the details, cannonpharmacies.com. I got my flu shot, my COVID shot, and signed up for Medicare all last week at Cannon Pharmacy. Actually, True Care, but it's a part of the Cannon family.
Hey, take care of it and do it. Mark Plemmons just signed up, and he is taking care
of. Yeah, officially an old man.
As we look here for some updates real quick, Olympic and Audrey Kell. Olympic leads that one 14-13. South Meck and Bonnet Ridge 43-0 as we await the punt here. There is the snap. Almost gets it blocked, and nobody standing back deep to receive it as they brought the house, and it's going to take a good bounce for the Comets and roll dead at the 34 of the Tigers.
I like the move by the Tigers. You don't put your man back there in a position that he wants to take a risk. If you punt the ball, the only bad thing that could happen for Mount Pleasant is if that punt return man drops a football and you gain 40 yards for the North Stanly team. So you're playing it safe. You figure you got a full 2-touchdown lead. You got a little bit less than a full quarter. Now you want to try to force feed the football to North Stanly. If they get too tight the line, throw it down the field.
And that's exactly what they did last time. Like you said, they'll line up 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. They'll put a wing back to the right, and we have a false start on the Comets as they jump there. So a free 5 here.
Yeah, so an offside penalty. They're playing a deep safety, so they're trying to make sure that nobody beats them deep.
Ball moved up now to the 39-yard line of the Tigers. They're working right to left here on this drive. Ball spotted directly in the center of the field. They'll have 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. They shift Regal in motion out of the slot on the left. They give it to him. He goes up the middle. He's still turning the legs. Got enough for the first down and brought down at the 45.
Yeah, Jacob Regal, good hard running, enough for the first down. An easy first down when you start with 1st and 5.
Regal picks up 6 there on first down, and it just tick, tick, tick on the clock. The clock is your friend if you're the Tigers.
11 minutes, 30 seconds away from a Yadkin Valley Conference championship for Mount Pleasant if they can hang on.
Leading by 16, 36-20 the score. First down and 10, ball thrown 45. They're going to set up 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Wing back lined up to the right. They shift Regal in motion, fakes the handoff to Black. Pressure gets to him. He throws it, and that, I think, forced a bad throw trying to get it to Dempsey as that pressure got to him right as he went to release Mark.
Yeah, he had him over there open, but just a little too high.
I think you could feel the pressure there. I think he felt it coming and got rid of it and forces it incompletion, stops the clock. 11-13 left here in the third. Second down and 10 with the ball at their own 45, working off that right hash mark, working right to left.
They're getting tighter of the line of scrimmage now. They think a run's coming.
They're going to stack 2 receivers left side, shift Dempsey in motion behind him. They're going to toss it to the receiver out of the jet spot, or out of the wingback spot, which is going to be Smith, and Smith is going to get maybe 1. Pick up 2.
We've seen positive yards on that play every single time with that orbit for Dempsey, and then the counter coming back off that slot back off the right wing.
I got confused there when I looked. I thought he only got 1, but I was looking at the down marker when I was looking at it. He already moved it. I was like, I only picked up 1, but he got 3.
A lot of moving parts on that play, and that's moving parts for your defense to adjust to. If somebody misses a gap, then you're running free down the field.
They'll line a receiver each way. Now they do a lot of motion on this one. They shift a lot of people from the left side to the right side. Now the wingback sets right. They give the handoff to Regal. Regal works right, spins, still on his feet, got the first down, still running on his feet, still can't be brought down. He's still pulling people with him all the way up to the 25 mark. He pulled about 4 Comets with him that far.
Well, I tell you what, he's got some strong legs. You can tell he's been in the weight room.
He did not give up on that one. He absorbed 4 hits and drug 3 or 4 Comets with him as he fought all the way down to the 25, and a good piece of running there from Jacob Regal.
Yeah, just strong legs, just powering his way through. Spun off a tackle at about the 7 or 8 yard downfield mark.
Put 2 receivers left, empty right, wing back setting to the right. They'll line up the running back to the left. They move the jet man of Smith off the right side there, and he'll run up the middle, and he got back to the line of scrimmage, and flags fly in. Thought I saw a flag, didn't you?
No, I'll tell you what it is. There's 3 different football games going. There's one across the opening over there on the Mount Pleasant side. There's another one on the other side, and the footballs will fly up in the air, and it looks like a flag is being thrown. And one of the guys over at the other side of the press box told me earlier, he said, you'll see this happen, and it throws us off every time.
It did me. I thought there was a flag there on that play. They're going to shift Dempsey from the slot left to the lone man to the right. So they'll have 2 left, 1 right, wing back to the right. They now shift Regal from the slot left. They give it off to him. He gets behind those big blockers and fights forward, and he'll pick up 3, and he'll get the ball up to the 21 and just short of the Pizza Hut red zone.
And, of course, they like that clock to continue to run. 40-second play clock, but it's going to stop, I think, with an injured player. Now they'll set it to 25 seconds and start it once the injured player gets off the field. And young man who was shaken up momentarily was Sosa Murphy, a senior defensive lineman for the Comets. He's trotted off, looks like he's okay, just shaken up a little bit.
So a 3rd down and 6 here for the Tigers. Clock down to 9 minutes. Clock is on their side.
36-20 Tigers.
2 to the left, 1 to the right. They shift Regal in motion, fakes the handoff. Black throws, middle of the field. Tight end's open, and it's out of his hands. He had it, and he couldn't hold on to it, and he dropped it.
It almost looked like he was trying to spike it.
It did.
You can't throw the ball much better than that.
No, and we can't catch a jersey number on the far side of the field to tell you who it was because it's tough to see.
Well, we'll leave the drop. We'll leave his drop off. That was a bad drop. Tigers can throw to that tight end a handful of times every game because the safeties and linebackers are trying to come up and stop the run.
Just got an update on the Yankees game. I'll give you an update on that one here in a moment. The World Series, Yankees-Dodgers, kicking a 40-yard field goal, but they'll fake it here. Roll out to the right. They got a man open, makes the catch, and turns it in there, and a touchdown again for the Tigers. As they pull out the fake, and at the quarterback is the holder, and they're able to get the touchdown there, and I don't know who caught that on the far side of the field because we can't tell.
I couldn't see who it is, but there was Black throwing it.
I think that was Black who threw it, yeah.
Black to the mystery man. That's
I can't tell who caught it.
23-yard pass?
Yep.
It would have been a 40-yard field goal here in the 4th quarter for the Tigers. Instead, they put up 16 points now on North Stanley's side of the scoreboard.
Yeah, I don't think that's up there. There they go. They took it away now. As we await the extra point here, there's the place, the snap, the kick. It's up, and it is good. The score is now 43-20. It's all Tigers, and it looks like they are well on their way to the Yadkin Valley Conference Championship and going to become 5-0 and get a very, very, very good seeding when it becomes playoff time.
Yeah, one loss, that tough loss, non-conference to Northwest Cabarrus, the only blemish on the Tigers' record right now. And they had a chance to win that game. They were down, 2? Was it 16-14, I believe?
Yep, 16-14.
Final score on that one.
And now I'm just saying this, Mark. We've both seen Robinson, and we've both seen Mount Pleasant. And we saw what North Stanly looked like last year. And they got boat raced last year, Mount Pleasant did, by North Stanly. Do you think the Tigers have anything for Robinson this year, or do you think Robinson just puts it on them next week?
To be perfectly honest, the Tigers would hope to have a game like Northwest is having, with stay close and hope to get a mistake. As fast as Mount Pleasant is, Robinson's faster.
Robinson's fast.
As big as Mount Pleasant is on the line, Robinson's as big, but maybe faster on the line.
A line drive kick that's going to be fielded, but it hits off the hands. It's going to be jumped on by one of the Comets. He's going to pick it up and come near side and jump forward and get it out to the 25. It's going to be Solomon Hudson, the one who ended up with it. But that was bad, as Justice Grambling couldn't hold on to it.
Be sure and tune in to WBTV tonight. David Beaver with us tonight. He's sitting here with us and got a couple of touchdowns. Actually, got 3 touchdowns while he was standing here with us. 43-20 now, Mount Pleasant with the lead.
We try to always work with all those
That's
guys.
Right.
We stepped out of the way a little bit, let him get up there, do his job
That's
like
right.
he's supposed to do, so everybody out there can see this stuff. As we're set to throw here with Shaver. Shaver gets pressure. He dumps it off into the flat. It's going to be caught. He's going to turn it upfield and then get hit and shoved out of bounds. It's Gavin Helms.
That's a pretty good play for the quarterback. He's having to retreat and try to avoid pressure. Gets the ball away, and nice short. It's a good gain on first down.
It is. It's a pickup of about 6 there on first down. Quick update on the World Series there, Mark. Top of 5, 0-0, Yankees-Dodgers.
That's the way we'd like it. Nobody to win.
There is this snap.
Can both teams lose?
And that one's picked. As Dempsey saw that one right out of the quarterback's eyes, and he jumps in front of it, and he picks that one off.
And a North Stanly player who was the receiver on that play, we won't say his name, but he just spiked his helmet with both hands.
Frustrated.
Just like a basketball player that gets mad and slams the basketball down.
Yeah, very frustrated after that one. But you know what happened there, Mark? He turned around and waited on the ball. Dempsey worked back towards the ball.
Well, Dempsey gets the drop, and then he reads the quarterback. He's looking at the quarterback all the way. When the quarterback throws it, he just runs straight to the ball.
And that's what they did. The Tigers pick it off and have great field position up at the Comets 39 with 8:22 left here. And I don't know if you're Coach Crosby, if you just try to punch one in here, if you just run it and milk it, and they shift everything that's on the line from the left side to the right side. Wingback setting right, a receiver each direction here. Regal to his left of his quarterback. They give it to Regal. Regal fighting forward, pushing the pile, and he'll get up to the 30.
Well, they're pointing like they've got the ball. I don't think they do.
They're undigging the pile. I don't know what they're going to point yet. Who came?
Now we got a little bit of.
Got a little scuffle as they push them apart. No signal yet, but I think it stays with Mount.
Yeah, I don't think.
They're talking about it. Who are they going to award it to?
Mount Pleasant
Mount
ball.
Pleasant, yeah. They're not going to give it to the Comets.
I thought he was down, but I couldn't see the ball.
I couldn't either, but I agree with you. I thought he was down. He was fighting and tugging for that extra bit of yardage, just couldn't get it. And the Comets starting to show frustration.
That keeps the clock rolling under 8 minutes.
And the Comets are starting to show frustration out there on defense, Mark, as you see some of them taking a knee, slapping themselves in the head, getting frustrated, or maybe trying to fire themselves up, but looks more like frustration.
Well, that was kind of the looks like they're going to call timeout.
Yeah, Coach Crosby's going to take his first timeout of the second half with 7:43,
but
leading by 23.
Here's what you like if you're a Tiger fan. It was a 40-second play clock. They waited till 1 second on the play clock and called timeout. So you milk it all the way down. So you go down to 7:43.
Sorry there, Mark. I was checking with our young man over here who's getting all of the film for the Tigers, and I'm making sure that I'm not getting in his way, and we have an update that is final from Northwest Cabarrus. The Robinson Bulldogs come out victorious, score 20-10, and that's the first time this year the Bulldogs have been tested.
Yeah, that's the least points they've scored. It's the most points they've given up, and they win by 10 over a very good Northwest Cabarrus team.
Coach
so that
Seidel.
Mount Pleasant and J.M. Robinson next week over at the Dog Pound.
They moved to 9-0 on the season. They'll win their third consecutive, what is that, Piedmont?
South Piedmont Conference Championship, yeah.
They win their third consecutive one, and next week it looks like we're going to have a matchup between the South Piedmont champions and the Yadkin Valley champions.
Of course, it's 3A and 2A, but
it's just an old rivalry game that you don't want to let go of yet. You just want to keep it going as long as you can. As I look out there on the field and I see Coach Chad Little.
They're upset about still not getting that fumble, and then I think there was something else they're pointing at that they didn't like. So it gives them an opportunity to vent while there's timeout. You got the side judge have 4 coaches talking to him. Coach Little's got the umpire and the referee.
Is that a flag sitting right there at around the 37-yard line?
If it is, it's probably a unsportsmanlike.
They haven't ran a play, so I don't know why there's a flag sitting there unless they're getting the coach for being out there at the near hash. But it looks like that might be a flag. Is that what it looks like to you?
It's either that or a piece of trash.
It's one or the other. We'll wait and see what happens here.
If it's a piece of trash, let me give you something. Keep America Beautiful says that if every person picks up 4 pieces of litter a day, that we will eliminate litter.
Really?
So that's my goal every day, to pick up at least 4 pieces of litter and throw it in the trash can.
They did.
No, they ejected somebody.
They did.
He pointed toward Mount Pleasant.
I don't know who they just ejected. Well, somebody
dead
just
ball.
Got personal foul.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Ejection. So somebody from Mount Pleasant got ejected.
Yeah, I wonder who that. It could have been.
Well, now they're marking it off against North Stanly, so he's pointing the wrong direction.
So yeah, North Stanly, somebody got ejected. Now who was it? We don't know. But somebody was ejected in this game. He pointed Mount Pleasant, but they moved the ball from Mount Pleasant forward, so the penalty would have been against North Stanly, but not sure who the player was that was ejected there.
They didn't say, but it goes down the 21-yard line.
So
7:43.
All Tigers here in the second half as they lead 43-20, as you heard Mark say. And they're the only team to score so far here in the second half, right?
No, I think we had that. There's a little reverse.
Little reverse toss over to Aiden Smith, and he'll fight it up to the 20, and he'll make a stop inside the Pizza Hut red zone. Have they? Yeah, they did score.
I was thinking, they got that.
They did.
Yeah, because it's 22 to 14.
And they got that one score.
And it went 29-14, and then the score, and they missed the extra point.
That's correct. You are correct.
And then Mount Pleasant scores back-to-back.
So the ball spotted at the 19. Remember, it's not too late to go to pizzahut.com. Get yourself a pizza, cinnamon sticks, and breadsticks. If you don't want it tonight, you got all day tomorrow to get it. Your Carolina Pizza Hut. It's that easy. Go on the app, click it, they'll deliver it right to your door. You don't even have to leave. Don't ever miss a snap of football. They'll put 2 receivers out to the left, wing back to the right. Black shifts Regal in motion from the left. That one's on the ground. And the Comets jump on it, and it might not have got recovered by him. It might have rolled underneath the Comet, and they could have been recovered by a Tiger.
I'm not sure how.
And it is a Tiger.
I'm not sure how they missed that ball. They must have fallen on it and just squirted away.
It's going to be Gavin Helms who jumped on it, and it looked like he might have over-jumped it there, Mark, because it looked like it might have been between his legs when he went for it. And Regal was able to get back to that one as a Tiger and jump on it. And that
turns out to be a big loss, but it keeps the clock rolling.
Almost turned it over.
Go under 6.5 minutes before they run another play.
That one there, just a bad snap, unable to be controlled there by the quarterback at Colin Black. He couldn't get it down into the hands quick enough to give it to Regal. Then him and Regal kind of ran into each other. A Comet tried to jump on it, but Regal able to recover it. Tigers keep possession. They'll line up a receiver to the left, wing back to the left, one running back to the right. They give it to the running back, comes left side, got a hole. He's going to keep fighting forward and be brought down at the 10. And
he's about a yard short, looks like, maybe the 11.
Yeah, the 11, you're right.
But that will be 4th down. No, actually, they're going to say he got the first down.
So they give him the first.
I'm looking across the way. I thought the 10 was the line to gain, but it looks like the 11 was the line to gain.
They gave it to him. So a first down for the Tigers, and this is nothing but tick, 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 tick. Your clock is your friend. Under 6 left here in the ball game.
I believe both teams have called a timeout. Scoreboard showing 3 for both, but I believe both teams have called at least one timeout.
I agree with you on that. I think at least one timeout each. We'll line up Colin Black with 2 running backs to his right, or a running back each way of him. He hands it off to the running back to his right, and he's stacked up as he hands that off to Aiden Smith, and he'll lose a yard back to the 12.
Nice job. Looks like Jamon Collins really stacked that play up, doing a good job getting there. He got into the hole, stacked up the blocker, and was able to make contact with the running back.
Clock winds down to 5 minutes left here. Second down and 11 after the 1-yard loss. They'll empty the backfield here. They'll put a wing back to the right, 2 tight ends to the left, 1 receiver left, 1 receiver right. Play clock still with 8. Now they all get set. They shift Regal from the left side in motion. They give the ball off to Regal. He works right, finds a seam, still fighting forward. He's inside the 5, and he'll be brought down at the 3.
Tigers bringing in some jumbo package here, some beef up front.
So first down and goal with 4.5 left here. And you saw in that last play there, Mark, Coach Crosby instructed his quarterback, Colin Black, the junior, to slow down. When that play clock got down to about 8 seconds, you saw all the linemen get set, then they ran the play.
Now they've got the full house right with the quarterback shotgun.
Black it's Regal in there at quarterback, it looks like, actually.
I believe you're right.
There is the snap to Regal. Regal works right, finds a little seam, and he's in there again for the touchdown. Clock stopped exactly with 4 minutes, and another touchdown for the Tigers. And that one right there, the explanation point, and it seals the deal, is the score 49-20, pending the extra point. And it.
Yeah, I think you're right with that. You kick one through here, and well, right now you're up 19 or 29, and there's no way that you're going to score 4 touchdowns in the last 4 minutes unless you help them.
I don't know if there's a 30-point play. Is there?
No, there's not.
There's a missed bobbled snap, and he's going to sling one, and good defense there as they jump up and get it, but a bobbled snap, and I always point this out when I see it there, Mark. Good show of sportsmanship from the Comet there.
Oh, yeah, helped him up.
Chased him across the field after the bobbled lay down, and he chased him over there, Aiden Ashbrook, and he goes and helps him and gives him a hand up after the tackle. So a good show of sportsmanship for him. And that's easy. When you're getting beat by 29, to just look at that kid and just leave him lay on the ground and walk off. He goes over and gives him a hand and helps him up. So a great show of sportsmanship there from Aiden Allsbrook for that. So I like to point that out. That's something I like seeing. You know, you don't get to see that very often. And when you do, I like pointing it out because it's something that's fun to see. They're all out there playing for the same goal. Somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose, and they're all fighting for the W. But somebody's got to take the L, and to take it gracefully is
my grandmother always used to tell me and my brother, somebody's got to lose, and my brother said, it doesn't have to be us.
It does not. But when you do, if you take it graciously and you still show a good show of sportsmanship, it's a good sign as an athlete and a good sign as a human being. As we await the kickoff here, kicking from right to left. And it'll be a short directional kick that'll be caught at the 28. He'll come near side with it. He'll try to spin, and he'll be tackled and brought down. Solomon Hudson just short of the 40 at the 39.
I see Hudson gets 5 or 6 yards on that return.
Yeah.
If he runs side to side, he probably gets 1 or 2.
Yep.
But he came upfield, made a little wiggle, got maybe a yard or 2 after he made the cut. But take what they give you.
And that's how he started the game, remember? That's why you brought it up. He worked right to left. He ran 30 yards right to left before he went upfield and got 2 yards. There he got 6.
Yeah. All those yards add up.
A yard here, a yard there. Makes it a tighter ball game. They'll line up trips tight to the line of scrimmage left, working left to right. Shaver set to throw here. He's got plenty of time. Rolls right, throws. Helms makes a one-handed catch right at midfield, and a nice snag there by Helms.
Nice grab, nice throw. Tigers playing a sort of a prevent, so you're going to be able to throw those passes like that underneath. You just got to be careful that you don't telegraph it so much that we saw Dempsey stepping in front of that pass a moment ago.
Official spot is at the Tigers' 49, so across midfield are the Comets. They put 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. They got a wing back left. They set to throw, middle of the field. Going to be caught. That caught by McCoy. He makes a man miss while he shifts around enough for the first down and brought down at the 38.
I think North Stanly might have got away with a hold over there. It looked like somebody grabbed him by the jersey and just took him straight to the ground.
I'll get away. I think they got away with a hold, and the near side receiver down here, I think he might have got a little bit of a head start. Not much, just a little bit of a jump, but they got away with
officials want that clock to continue to roll.
2 to the right, 1 to the left, or trips to the right, 1 to the left. They toss one out of the flat to the right. It's going to be caught there by Gavin Helms, and he'll be rode out of bounds up at the 32, so pick up a 7 there.
Yeah, I think they say that his forward progress was stopped before he got out of bounds, so the clock continues to roll.
Clock stopped at the 32, second down, and they'll call it. It looks like they're going to call it 5 here, so a pick up of 5, actually. I thought he got 6, but they're going to give him 5 because they stopped him on the forward progress.
We'll give you a World Series score here in a minute.
They're going to put trips to the right, and that's over the head of the quarterback of Shaver. Shaver picks it up, run into his right, looks to throw. He's got a man, and he lets it go, and a good decision there that time.
Everything on that play was high. High snap, high throw.
And that was the right decision that time by Helms. Remember, last time he caught that when they lost 4 yards. That one there, he let it go over his head. They would have lost 5.
Giancarlo Stanton, two-run homer, gives Yankees a 2-1 lead in the 6th over the Dodgers.
And I'll throw you out a quick stat real quick.
All
I
right.
heard it on the radio. 80% of the time, the team that wins Game 1 wins the World Series, no matter where it goes. 80% of the time. Game 1 winner wins the World Series. I heard that stat on the radio the other day listening to Sirius XM satellite radio. They put trips left, 1 to the right. There's the throw from Shaver. It's low, and they're going to call it a catch. Didn't get a jersey number as he was going to the ground, but it's Helms again.
It's our man 10, 10, Helms.
Nathan Helms, that one is. So Nathan Helms is 10, Gavin Helms is 8, just so everybody knows here. There are 2 Helmses out there on the field. Back in the back position, they got Elijah Bryant lined up directly behind Shaver. They'll put 2 receivers each direction here. Shaver set to throw, goes to the left side. That one's going to be picked off by Tiger, and he drops it on the ground. And the Comets jump back on top of it and get the ball back.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
So the ball was picked off there. It looked like it. I couldn't tell what number it was.
I'm not sure who picked it off, but
might have been number 2. It was a single-digit number. I know that much.
The receiver, I think, broke the wrong way, or at least the quarterback looked like he was throwing inside. The receiver broke outside, and it goes straight to the Tiger. And then he loses the ball before he could get to the ground.
And we have whistles and
timeout call
for the Comets on the field.
And they're going to try to get something in the end zone. I want to make sure that they finish up the game strong.
And I don't hate that.
The Tigers are – actually, we may have an injury timeout rather than a call timeout because we've got a Tiger down on the ground. But both these teams will get coached up. The Tigers are going to want to try to keep them out of the end zone. And Comets coach is, hey, let's get this one. Let's don't lay down. Let's finish strong.
See if we can get some updates here on our Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard here, Mark.
Just outside the Pizza Hut red zone.
Just outside of it.
22-yard line.
Here we go. Independence, Rocky River, final. Independence 44, Rocky River nothing. Lake Norman able to come back and win that game against South Iredale 29-25. All those provided to you so far from Max Preps. We'll give you some more scores here in a second. I just saw one about this Hickory Ridge game. I don't know if it's factual or not, but we'll talk about it in a second.
All right.
As a first down here after the completion, fumble, return. As Shaver set to throw it here, throws near side. It's going to be incomplete as he can't hold on to it on the near sideline.
Stops the clock with 2:11 to play. 49-20, Mount Pleasant.
The score I have here on Max Preps is Hickory Ridge 35, Cox Mill 31. Hickory Ridge came back and has taken the lead in the fourth quarter.
That was 31-21, I think, last time we had a score.
Central leading Carson 23-14. Central on top. As we await the snap here, they shift the wing back from left to right, put him in the slot. So they had trips right, 1 left. Schaefer rolls to his right, set to throw, throws it to Helms on the numbers at the 10. He cucks back inside, rides it into the end zone, and he's going to be
he
touchdown?
scored.
Yes, they're
touchdown.
going to give it to him. Okay, there's the official signal there.
The Tigers tackled him into. He was going to be short, and the Tigers tackled him into the end zone with 2:02 left.
So I didn't see the official signal there. He kind of just trotted up the sideline, but I thought it was a touchdown, and it is.
So Shaver to Helms. Was that Helms again?
Yep, that was Helms. That was Nathan Helms, number 10.
Nathan Helms, okay.
Yep. as we await the extra point here with 2:02, and I have some more updates we'll give us on
All
our
right.
Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard after this extra point here, Mark. Kind of update our listeners. Here's the snap, there's the place, the kick, it's up, and it is good. The score here, 27-49, 2:02 left in the ball game. The Mount Pleasant Tigers on top of the North Stanly Comets. And right back to our Cannon Pharmacy scoreboard we go. In the fourth quarter, Concord and West Rowan, 35-0. West Rowan rolling Concord. Chambers, West Charlotte. Fourth quarter, Chambers is trailing in that one, 33-7. Huff all over Harding. And this says it's in the second quarter, so it's probably final, but in the second quarter was 35-0. Huff all over Harding.
Beating that University?
The University of Harding. Mallard Creek in control against West Meck. That's in the fourth quarter, 36-0.
Forest Hills over Parkwood. That pounded them 50-7.
They did pound them. South Point pounded them 58-7. Oh, here we go. This is a big game that you're keeping an eye on if you're the Comets. Lake Norman Charter 17, South Stanley 21. That's a conference matchup, and number 3 in the conference right now is Lake Norman Charter, the only team to defeat the Comets so far this year. And so far, that's one they're keeping their eye on, which will help their chances of making it into the playoffs. King Mountain leads 24-19 over Ashbrook. Crest leads Hunter Hush 28-0. Lincolnton and Maiden 19-13, as this one's going to be caught at the 10 from Dempsey. Dempsey's going to run it up to the 25, and he's going to fall down.
He just took a knee.
And take a knee.
Yeah, you're going to see the Tigers just they probably have a lot of subs out there, and they'll probably just run a couple of plays.
I'm not sure if this one was the correct score, but if it was not a whole lot of offense. Albemarle and Union Academy, it says the final score was 7-0. Albemarle won.
That may be Mount Pleasant just took a timeout. Make sure that they do, they know what they want to do here. 49-27, Mount Pleasant with the lead. We've got 1:57 left.
And now Cox Mill back on top, 38-35 fourth quarter.
That's a wild game over at the Mill.
At the Mill. And Mooresville pounds A.L. Brown, 49-7.
Oh.
And you remember, we talked about it. I had it on my paper here. I know it didn't look too great on paper, but last year in the playoffs, A.L. Brown almost upset the 2 seed of Mooresville in the playoffs.
They've had good
week.
games this year, and they've had some that weren't so good. I know the Wonders fans were really upset when West Cabarrus kicked the field goal on the last play of the game and beat them.
Yep. And keep in mind, like you just said there, Mooresville plays Lake Norman this week, and that is always a big battle there. And I think they're at Mooresville this year, so that's going to be a fun one to watch there. We'll keep you updated next week.
Mooresville's really good.
Regal with the carry, works right from the wing-back spot, and he'll pick up a couple, and the clock will continue to run to 1:50 here. And you have to think Coach Daniel Crosby just in let's run the ball mode here, milk it, and let's go home.
Oh, yeah, you're going to run as much time as you can. If you can run it all out without anybody calling the timeout, you'll do it.
So it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 8 with 1:30 left here. No hurry here.
It'll be about a minute. You can probably just take a knee here. Let's see if they do.
They're lined up like they're going to go for it here, Mark. They're going to have a running back lined up to the right of the quarterback Black, 1 receiver far out right, and 2 tight ends set with a wing back right. They give it off to Regal. Regal works right, goes into the pile, and he pushes it forward for a pickup of about 5 there. He's going to bring up a 3rd down and a short, we'll call it a long 3, short 4.
Well, you snap the ball one more time, and unless North Stanley calls a timeout, the game is over.
And if you get a 1st down here, it is definitely over, as they are in no hurry as the play clock is at 20 seconds.
They're going into a safe mode. They're going to
just going to punt it.
No. They're just going to
take a knee.
I think that's what they're going to do.
They're going to line up, like you said, in victory formation, it looks like. And they do. They're waiting. There's down to 1. There's the snap. The knee. North Stanley not going to call a timeout. And that was cool to see right there. The Nathan Helms just came over and fist bumped the back judge as he was walking off the field.
Oh, yeah.
as the play clock or the game clock runs down. The score is going to wind up being 49-27. The Mount Pleasant Tigers on top of the North Stanly Comets. They get revenge from last year, and Coach Daniel Crosby gets the Gatorade bath as the Mount Pleasant Tigers are going to be the 1A, 2A Yadkin Valley Conference champions under head coach Daniel Crosby. And they have a date next week with the South Piedmont 3A Conference champions who just locked it up tonight, the Robinson Bulldogs. So we're going to have a good one at Robinson and Concord next week between the 8-1 Mount Pleasant Tigers and the 9-0 Robinson Bulldogs. Mark, we are going to have a good one next week.
Oh, absolutely. It'll be a fun time for both teams with not a lot on the line, possibly maybe a little bit of power rankings or something like that. But whoever wins next week got to feel real good about it. And you don't want to get anybody hurt, though, going into the playoffs.
No, you definitely don't. And that's a cold one out there for Coach Crosby as he is soaking wet with the Gatorade bath. But it feels good either way because you're coming out of here with a conference championship, and you have punched your ticket in to the 2A North Carolina high school football playoffs that start here in 3 weeks, Mark, because it got pushed back by a week. We have 1 week left of regular season, and they pushed it back 1 week for a couple of teams to make up, and then the following week, if you didn't miss a game, you have an off week, and then you go into the playoffs. So just 3 short weeks, and we have playoff football here.
Let's give you a quick score and recap, and I will do forgive us on some of the numbers. We may or may not be right on who scored these because we did not get the Tigers' numbers very accurate tonight, those gold blobs on white jerseys. But scoring got started first, 6:46 left in the first quarter. North Stanley's Gavin Helms picked the ball off, ran it about 30 yards back. Carter with the kick, 7-0, North Stanley. Mount Pleasant answered. It's Black to Dempsey, a 45-yard pass. Braden Sellers with the kick, 7-7 our score. That's 10:19 left in the second quarter. Juice Lilly, a 1-yard run, capped the drive for the Comets. Carter with a kick, 14-7 with 5:30 left in the first half. Mount Pleasant then gets a 21-yard run from Jacob Regal. Sellers with the kick. We're 14-14. And then late in the half, it looked like trying to have a safe play, a fumble for North Stanley. It's scooped up by Ethan Dempsey. He runs about 35 yards on the scoop and score. A couple of penalties against North Stanley, and Mount Pleasant goes for 2. Regal for the run, 22-14 at the half. Third quarter, 6:43 left. Mount Pleasant drives about 67 yards. Black goes to Justin Kyle, the tight end. Sellers with the kick, 29-14 Tigers. North Stanley battles back. Shaver to McCoy, 22-yard pass. The kick was no good. 29-20 Tigers still lead after the North Stanley score. 1:25 left in the third quarter. Jackson Burris with a 90-yard kickoff return. Sellers with a kick, 36-20. Mount Pleasant in the fourth quarter, 8:46 left. Black to we're not sure who. 23-yard touchdown pass on the fake field goal. Sellers with the kick, 43-20. Regal with a 3-yard run with 4 minutes left. The pass for Mount Pleasant after a bad snap fails, 49-20. And then a late drive by North Stanley. Schaefer to Nathan Helms, 22 yards. Carter with a kick, 49-27. Our final score, Mount Pleasant over North Stanley.
I'm just going to ask you real quick here. If you want, I can bring us home. I don't know if you want to run down there real quick and try to get an interview with Coach Crosby. I'm just asking. If you want to, I can bring us home. If not, we can take it in and let's do it.
Go ahead, and I'll run down there and try to grab him real quick.
I just figured since it was such a big win
and you start breaking it down, and I'll be right back.
Yes, sir. I just figured I would ask and see so you can get the interview for us and we can put it on our website. But I'll break it down here as Mark heads down field side to get the interview with head coach Daniel Crosby, the champ in the 4A or in the 1A, 2A Yadkin Valley Conference. We'll have that video posted on our YouTube channel later tonight. You can catch that interview in its entirety from Mark Plemmons, who's heading down there to go find him right now. Like you heard Mark say, this one's wrapped up here with the final score, 49-27, Mount Pleasant on top, taking the conference championship over North Stanley, paying revenge for last year where they got walked up and down the field and had that one taken right away from them. So, with that being said, We'd love to have you join us next week. We'll have crews in Cabarrus County again covering all kinds of games. We hope you hang out with myself and Mark Plemmons or John Von Cannon and Chris Hudson as we'll have all this action brought for you guys next week. Where the final score here at North Stanly at R.N. Jefferson Stadium, or Jeffrey Stadium, was 49-27. Mount Pleasant Tigers on top of the North Stanly Comets, claiming the 1A, 2A Yadkin Valley Conference Championship. For Mark Plemmons, I'm James Melick. Thank you, everyone, and have yourselves a great evening. Until next Friday.